Greetings, traveler. You've just landed on the Mikey and Me podcast. But fear not, for this is no mistake. No fault in the stars, no glitch in the matrix. No, I'm afraid this has all been planned. Predetermined by powers known not to us. So pull up a chair and join us as we find our way together, for you are among friends.
Amen. Friends.
So am I. I'm among friends and family.
Yeah, we got our friends right here with the pugs and everything, and hopefully whoever's joining us.
Yeah.
In whatever realm they might be.
In whatever
consuming.
realm you are.
You know, who knows?
And it's a cold one tonight in Dallas. It's 42 degrees, a high of 55, and a low of 27. So be sure to keep those faucets dripping.
It's supposed to be 27.
Even though you'll be hearing this when it's too late. You will have probably, it's going to be a day or so later when you hear this. So,
faucets.
Oh yeah, I've been on that game.
California is burning. That's the weather in California.
Yeah, that's it is interesting. You know, it's different. No, it's a good that's a solid transition to something that's relevant going on in the world that's worth bringing up.
Yeah.
It's been a great week.
We talk about the weather all over.
That's a great way to be like, how was your week? Who knows? It wasn't this bad. Yeah. Whatever they're going through is
really wasn't this bad. And you got to feel for the majority of people out there, all the people at the lower part of the hill.
Yeah, it's our hearts and prayers go out.
Anybody
at the end of the day.
Everybody's getting it out there.
Upper
or lower part of the hill.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I just meant
hearts and prayers go out.
Figure the people up on the top of the hill might be better. I saw a guy that he had lowriders out back, and he had a garden hose, and he was like, "I'm not fucking leaving," and he was spraying his car off. He was like, "I'll come back." He was like, "I'll come back and dig this motherfucker up." He was just sitting there like spraying it, like all of his lowriders down out back of his house in L.A. Like, I'm like, dude, you know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
There's one dude that saved his house with putting like sprinklers on top of the roof or whatever, like the oscillating ones. Oh, yeah. And he just like left. He put them on his roof, and they were going back and forth, and it ended up stopping, like kind of around his house.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. Well,
so
hearts and minds, prayers.
Yeah, that's. You got any thoughts? You got any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on the California fires?
I mean,
before we move on, or I mean,
yeah, no, I think it's tragic. Whatever's going on, at the end of the day, there's humans that are actually affected by it. Yeah. And I know there's political components that are blown up, which should be with the mayor and all this stuff that, but at the end of it all, just you got to remember there's people that are really losing their homes. And just almost, if you could just turn off social media outside of just knowing the relevant information, that there are people that need help.
Yeah, and regardless of rich and poor, in situations like this, no matter what, even if a guy does have a lot of money, he still put a lot of his life and work into buying that house or whatever. Yeah. If that might be maybe it's his only one, but either way, it's it still sucks. No matter how much again, if just because somebody has a lot of money doesn't mean that they didn't work for it, and it still means just as much to them as it would mean to anybody else.
Exactly. So those are. It is good components of it all, because at the end of it all, whatever gripes are, there might be.
Hard to not say
at the end of it all, not the end of the day, because this is beyond days. This is beyond that concept. There are definitely probably measures, or the people and communities politically, whatever actions actually they can do their best to try and influence. And there's time, I don't know, in the next elections or whatever, the local governments that people talk about water. Yeah. Like, there's definitely mismanagement of shit. The fires happen, mismanagement is relevant, almost like happens, when Katrina, all these disasters happen, and then it shows, it exposes
mismanagement.
Yeah, where
otherwise you'd never see.
Exactly. So
it's terrible happens.
And this is just an example of that. So just
hopefully it leads to some changes.
Yeah, and it just takes people actually getting out there and voting in their local government. Like, it's one of those things. Takeaways is the local government is actually the biggest place where you can actually go out and vote and see something change in your world. You want to vote national, but you you can
have
actually
the most influence and where it directly affects
Yeah.
your day to day.
and it's a small thing. I don't even act on it, but it's like if you actually want to vote and potentially see a change manifest in your actual realm of life and existence, get more involved in local government.
Yeah.
Then that's it.
Just paying
That's
attention to
and that's all from the
that's a good-
fires.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a good synopsis and take on the fires. And
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say. We can get into that later. My
Yeah,
segment
there
might
you-
tie into some of that later.
Yeah,
But,
we'll see what happens. But we had a homework or the weekly assignment.
We did.
Yet again. I feel it's fine. I did a bit more. I actually was able
ahead.
to watch. I watched 3 or 4 movies for
which
76.
is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Hats
This,
off to
this
you.
so you know, is within the last 24 hours I watched them. Most of them. That's like, oh shit. But actually, just got into it because it's this exercise has been really rewarding for me because there are movies like Logan's Run came out this year, which is great. I didn't need to go rewatch that. That
No.
came out.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver. There's like a really
Yeah.
some big important movies that came out that people know about. But so there's Network is a movie that I guess I can talk about first. I
Go ahead,
watched.
yeah, let's see it.
And so
I want to see a. Do you have? Can we do previews?
Oh yeah, no. So we're getting to the trailer.
Cool,
game.
let's
So I'll
see
do
it.
that, and then we'll.
Trailers.
What's the iconic line from Network?
Let me see your network.
Yeah, no, it's like one of the most iconic. Like I'm mad as hell.
And I'm not
gonna
gonna
take
take
it.
it anymore.
Yeah, no. There's some.
Is it
incredible-
Pacino?
It's actually not Pacino.
Oh.
It's Walter Matthau.
Oh yeah.
Not really.
Oh F it, I'll just do it this way.
We only have one pug
Fuck
at the
it,
moment.
do it live.
Yeah.
We only have
Oh, I
one
didn't
pug
know
at the
Brian
moment,
De
so we
Palma
won't bring
directed
you.
But
He's
he
the one
did
that
Carrie.
Scarface.
He didn't do this though. Network was done
that
by
was
Sidney
Carrie.
Lumet.
Oh.
Carrie, yeah, a few. So Network. You know the reason I'm
did you
going to do
guys
this
see,
live is because every time I actually prepare stuff ahead, it gets jumbled in all the other crap that I got going on to where it's like
See old Zucker on
regular.
Joe Rogan.
Fresh cut. He's got a fresh cut.
Just a regular
Regular chill
fucking
guy.
bro, man.
He's a
Just your
chill
regular
guy.
everyday just regular bro, man. Like I'm just like all you regular human people. What?
And now, the distinguished television news commentator, Mr. Howard Beale.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this moment to announce that I will be retiring from this program in 2 weeks' time because of poor ratings. Since this show was the only thing I had going for me in my life, I have decided to kill myself.
Oh.
I'm going to blow my brains out right on this program a week from today.
What the hell's going on?
Prepare yourself.
Bro, that sounds awesome.
Outrageous
Dude,
motion
it's so
picture.
relevant.
Howard Beale went up there last
Like
night and
it's
said what every American
everything
feels
that's going on
and
is
he's
like
tired of all the vote.
relevant in any time with media.
it's got- what's
and
his name?
network.
Yeah.
That's Robert Duvall. Yeah,
Television.
she's like the
That
main.
motherfucker was young or old when
It's
he
not
was
your
young.
show anymore, Max. It's mine.
I got a feeling I'm being
For
made.
real.
You are.
Got to warn you, I don't do anything on my first date.
We'll see. I want
Dude
a
was
show
36.
developed based on the activities of a terrorist group. Well, Ahmed, I'm gonna make a TV star out of you. Just like Archie Bunker. You're the #1 show in television!
There is no America.
Dude,
There is no democracy.
there's some
There is
incredibly
only
iconic. Like,
IBM and DuPont and Exxon. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone.
That's what. Yeah, you will atone. Yeah.
It was your own television, dummy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Network News Hour with Howard Beale.
this is really a genius fucking movie.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many
but first,
stations does this
you've
go out
got to
live?
get mad. You've got to say. I want you to get up right now. Go to your windows, stick your head out, and yell.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
I'm sure you will.
Are they yelling
That's
in
to be a
Atlanta
total
now?
thing. Mikey's watching this tonight. List.
Oh wait, no, this is the 2024 election.
Bro, wait a minute.
this is literally
Nah,
the
this is the
2024
J.G. Wentworth
election.
commercial.
Yeah.
That's where they got inspired from.
I have
It's
a
my
structured
money and I
settlement.
want it now.
And I need cash now.
So you
Yo,
should definitely watch
great
it.
recommendation. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
It's a movie I'd heard of, and you hear
No,
mine,
that's
but
dope.
actually, as an adult going through
That
and
looks
watching it, it's a lot of
super
genius.
relevant.
There's intended. There's just some the
Parallels.
writing in there.
History,
no, just
history
the
doesn't
parallel.
repeat. History doesn't
Oh,
repeat
yeah.
itself, but it rhymes. is
Yeah,
what it is,
but
like,
inside of all the stories, but the acting and the dialogue, just all of it is so razor sharp and just it's beautiful. And just each character, it's worthwhile. It's a masterpiece for many reasons. So Network, you should definitely watch it. And another movie I watched, I'd heard of before, but I think I didn't really know anything about it. Marathon Man.
Maripon.
We can
That was the Chinese version.
Man,
There we go. We'll just jump into this right.
Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger in this? Hook.
Yeah.
It's always cool getting to see some of these iconic actors when they were actually young in early roles.
It's like when he showed Robert Duvall in the last one.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker was
This
old
guy?
when he was
I think
young.
it was
yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I was saying Dustin Hoffman's the main guy here. That guy, I don't even know his name, that actor, but...
It's not safe.
Oh yeah.
And Roy Scheider's in here too.
Yep.
Is it safe?
Apparently, I guess this scene was kind of iconic with this dentist torture thing.
Dangerous.
Probably the wealthiest and most wanted Nazi left alive.
I'm positive your
Yeah,
brother meant to
it's all
rob
about
me
like
when
World War II Nazis that escaped and fled type thing.
I don't know anything.
Argentina.
Well,
Yeah.
can I trust you?
Is that
Roy
You never
Scheider,
could.
You're uncontrollable.
Jaws and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
was about to say,
What you offer
smile, you
us is
son of a
valuable, but
bitch.
it's not
He's a
worth
bit
the
younger here,
chaos
yeah.
you cause.
Where is he?
No!
A paranoid kind of political thriller. Added to your list of what you should watch tonight, Mike.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, the way he defended that.
That's legit.
Now, when
That's
the gap
exactly
gets
how
too
you
William
defend
Devane, that's
what
the guy.
FBI can handle effectively, and what
that.
the
Is actually
CIA doesn't
exactly
want to
how you
deal
defend
with.
that.
That's where we come in.
What do you do exactly?
We provide.
Provide what?
You want to avoid somebody
Anything.
doing that.
Were you Sal's mistress?
I never even met him.
Don't make it. Just drag it. Go like this. Keep it tight. Run it right over the
Is
nose.
it safe?
Marathon.
Marathon Man.
Check it out.
I'm gonna.
Definitely check it
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. I'll put it on the list.
You know, yeah.
It didn't strike me the way.
Next trailer I'm going to show is. I've heard of this movie.
I've seen it.
And no, I wanted to
been so
intentionally
long.
like go out of my way to find whatever comedies came out this year too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is really good comedies? And there's a movie that came out this year, which is just I'm gonna say information that I think is important. This is 4 years before one of my favorite comedies of all time, Airplane, came out. This 4 years before the movie Airplane came out. It is called The Big Bus, and I'll be damned if this actually isn't. The Airplane took the formula that this movie it's a parody spoof movie for that time of disaster films, with a lot of faces you'll recognize.
Like
they took
Scary Movie.
Oh, we see it happen modern
as,
times, but Airplane took
the modern version
this.
of Scary
like,
Movie.
This came out before Airplane. Is all I'm gonna say. Which is fine. It didn't make Airplane as funny.
This is
Taxi Driver.
I haven't actually pulled the trailer up.
Okay,
it's okay.
Just making sure.
I appreciate that. It's like I'm trying to get more of the big bus.
the big
booty.
There we go. Look at this. And this I even looked up things to where a lot of people. This was a movie that might have been on TV when people were young, of a certain age.
Okay.
And where it comes on TV and they see it, and they probably thought, "Oh, this is like an Airplane ripoff," but this actually came out before Airplane.
This is made back when you could smoke cigarettes on airplanes.
Back when you could actually set a building on fire.
Luxury liners, earthquakes, and lighter than aircraft. And now
76. Like, I think this might be one of the first actual parody films making fun of other movies that was done well. Like, this might be, I can think of the first big, like, legit one.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's making fun of.
Remember those old dart buses like that?
Oh yeah. It's making fun of Space 2001 with that scene.
You're a space ball.
Lapping. It's the world's first atomic-powered, non-stop, got-to-be-seen to be believed way to travel from New York to Denver. Why Denver? Why not? But the one thing that
Starker Channing. People might recognize her from Grease.
Is the passenger list. And the crew.
Never been.
He's the same role as the main guy, kind of, from Airplane.
Eat one lousy foot, they call you a cannibal. Before we get started, Dan, there's something I gotta tell you. I got something wacky in my middle ear. I can't keep off the shoulders. I gotta get my confidence back. I can just drive down. Father, why don't we worship a steam engine? Because we can see a steam engine. I don't buy that. But we can also see God. Not as good as a steam engine. I forgot to make a wish.
If there should be a radiation leak, God forbid.
Body bags.
We never should have gotten divorced. How long you divorced? 6 hours. Give it a chance.
I was the only one who had the courage to put an IUD in a rabbit. I got a chance to live.
Now start wasting time. Hop in.
There is nothing quite like a nice, leisurely cross-country ride.
There's a scene where it like breaks the wind barrier. That's like a ridiculous wind barrier.
Oh yeah, showing all the windows blowing out of the gas station and stuff.
Hi, welcome aboard to the big bus. Especially when it's on the big bus.
Oh, dude.
Low key though, that bus looks pretty fucking dope.
It was hilarious.
That does look pretty sick.
Yeah,
And there's some actors with small roles, like Larry Hagman's got a small role in
I
here.
think I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Oh, I don't. You think you might get to this one?
After Network.
All right, so let's make sure. So definitely people that's wanted to check out. And I think that there's at least one more that I watched.
You have to pull up a trailer for the what's it called one too, the Dirty Harry one that came out that year.
Yeah.
So I have to see if I can remember which.
Oh
one
yeah,
it
I can
was,
pull some
'cause
up.
I've
Let's
watched
see.
all
I
of them.
wanted to watch Marathon Man, Network, The Big Bus. So those are the main ones I watched. Notable things, Logan's Run. We've talked that film a lot. I should show trailer for that because I've definitely talked about how important that movie is in my life. So I can pull that one. Because part of it was filmed in Dallas.
Like basically, the premise. Or are you about to pull up the?
Yeah, I'm gonna show a trailer for this one.
Came out that year.
Oh, the sequel to original Westworld.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'm gonna show this Logan's Run trailers because this is.
I think I remember the premise of this one.
Just imagine a world where you will hold your entire future in the palm of your hand, when a tiny glowing crystal will guide you through an existence in which each day is more wonderful than the last, where it will be possible for you to obtain the fulfillment of every fantasy, the satisfaction of every vanity, the absolute attainment of every wish.
How dare you? Let's get this
Metro Goldwyn Mayer presents the Saul David production of Logan's Run. A fantastic journey through a world beyond imagination. Welcome to the 23rd century. The perfect world of total pleasure. Imagine a world in which you need never be alone. You touch a switch, turn a dial, and the perfect lover steps into your arms. Every pleasure is yours to experience.
I talked with Shane about this movie a bit. One of my conversations with him.
Everybody's got a gun.
When the tiny crystal in the palm of your hand flashes its final message, your time is up. Michael York is Logan.
Run, Logan!
Policeman in a perfect world.
No!
Trained to track down runners.
Run, Logan!
Until he is forced to run himself.
He's been in a lot of stuff. A lot of people might recognize him from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
He was like the...
He's a runner!
What's his name?
Kind of just like guy you talk to from
I understand.
the home
we
base.
all go crazy once in a while.
Yeah.
But she's a runner, and it's over.
Box,
it's a silver C3PO.
An incredible being.
Yeah, dude.
More than human.
That chick was
more than machine.
pretty,
Diabolical
pretty
guardian of
saucy
the
little lady,
gateway
yeah.
to freedom. Or Logan and the woman who loves him.
Terminator.
MK Ultra.
My love of science fiction as a child. I saw this is part of my whole journey in loving sci-fi and important films. So it's a good one.
These were the ones he would rent when we would
I've never
go
seen
to
a
the
face
store.
like that before.
Yep.
That must be the look of being old.
MGM takes you into a new age of adventure in the first motion picture.
See, like
of
a
the
lot of that was shot
23rd
around
century.
Dallas back in the day.
That looks like Dallas.
Logan's Run. It begins where imagination ends.
That's town east.
Yeah, dude. Really good one. So yeah,
No,
we're
man.
checking out
Logan's Run is it's a badass movie.
It is.
At first, I couldn't figure out why he ran.
Now we know. I feel like that movie, The Island, came out in the early aughts. Ian McGregor and Sarah Johansson. I feel like it was a loose kind of version of this. But there's at least one more trailer. You want me to look up that Dirty Harry one? Did you want to see that one?
The Enforcer?
The
Yeah, 'cause
Enforcer?
I was trying to remember
Yeah.
which one it was.
Look up that one. If there's any
Like, what was it?
one you wanted to look before we get out of the year, Mikey, you can let me know.
Yeah, y'all go ahead.
Here we go. It's the Enforcer trailer. I'm using this little keyboard to see how this works.
1976. Yeah, look up.
We'll see what happens right here. Look at that.
There you go.
There we go.
Still
There's
just
some fireworks going on in our neighborhood. It's an exciting
San
thing.
Francisco, sprawling, picturesque, dynamic,
Yeah, this was the
eighth
second
largest
one, I think.
cosmopolitan city in the United States.
Dirty Harry. It's
No,
part in the
it's-
Dirty Harry series, right?
Yeah.
Like every big city, it
This
has
was the
its share
second
of
one, I think.
crime and violence.
It's really light.
San Francisco is
Oh, this
the
is
only
this
city
is
with
the
a cop
this is
like
the
Dirty
one
Harry.
that the line is from.
Oh, the iconic line.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood is
Do you feel lucky? Do I feel lucky?
the
Yeah.
enforcer.
So this was the second one.
This is actually that movie.
Yeah.
Mayor of this big city has been taken prisoner of war by the People's Revolutionary Strike Force.
What do you want?
You. What are you protecting these people for? You know how many they've killed?
Harry Callahan.
Sacrifices have to be made, mister.
You got the wrong number, boy. We don't deal in
Get to see Clint Eastwood in his prime as a badass action star.
Yeah, no. I have all of these. Like several years back, I went and bought them all
You don't give up, do you?
Sometimes.
and like watched them.
Not you.
Yeah.
Fucking Time Bailey.
He's like 97, still making movies. It's crazy.
Oh shit! I miss fight scenes like that.
Harry's got a lady partner. This is a first for him.
I got a lady partner.
A lady
I want
partner.
you very slowly to put down that weapon, and then on the deck and
Yeah, what's
spread
her
your
name?
legs.
Are you kidding me?
Buffalo Bill.
Oh, you want your sit back crazy?
It's a bazooka right there, buddy. Hell yeah, that's how you deal with it. That's awesome.
First, there was Dirty Harry.
There we go.
Then Magnum Force.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
And
the
now
third one.
Eastwood is back as the enforcer.
Yeah.
The
'Cause Magnum
dirtiest
Force
Harry
was
of
the
them all.
The dirtiest
motorcycle-
Harry of them all. That's a great tagline.
Yeah, because Magnum Force was like it was
That's great.
a group of like motorcycle cops that were
Okay.
going around and like killing people. That was
Okay.
the second Dirty Harry movie.
That's cool.
The
So, yeah.
first one he was chasing a serial killer through like
Okay,
Now
it's-
that
I'm glad you've
I'm remembering
because
them
I
all
haven't
now
actually
because-
watched
oh,
all
dude,
of them.
They're fucking great, and it's
Definitely
funny
iconic.
because like the social issues and stuff.
Oh yeah.
In there, am I not coming?
No,
through?
you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Yeah.
But like
We're
the
good.
social issues
Oh,
in
yeah,
there
man.
and stuff too is like a lot of like what you see now was like
You get to
starting
see-
back then. Where
Yeah,
it's like
it's almost like a good
It was
history
in its
lesson.
dude, it's
infancy.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good stuff. I'm trying to think. What did
The town that dreaded sundown. That's when it started.
Nice.
It was a true. You could pull up.
Here we
the,
go.
The
Yeah,
trailer.
no, yeah.
This
was
this
good
is a
through
movie
Shout out
that
Tex, Arkansas.
this is a movie that I hold near and dear to me.
So
I enjoy
what's
the
the name of
movie. The town that dreaded sundown. I was actually it was like my favorite movie poster. And Ashley, my sister-in-law, was kind enough to get it for me. That's it down there.
That's the movie poster.
Okay,
But
sorry, hold on.
It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, no.
Really, it's based on a true story. It's not a beautiful movie. It's a scary movie. It's scary stuff, but it's fun.
It's scary stuff, but it's fun. So this is the
Scary-
this is the
That's the poster. Yeah, that's like what I
Oh
have.
snap, dude! Time Crimes was inspired by this. I've talked about that forum.
Yes. Yeah.
This is what, dude. That's cool.
Yeah,
See,
so this is-
journey of reading movies is
That's funny. Yeah, so you'll have to.
oh, dude, beautiful, dude. This is Time Crimes cover, dude. Oh my gosh, that's blowing my mind.
So yeah,
This
you
is.
can- So this is based on a true story.
Age 24. Linda Mae Jenkins, age 19. Brutally attacked March 3rd, 1946. Howard W. Turner, 29. Emmylou Cook, 17. Bodies discovered in a wooded area on March 24th. Roy Allen, 17. Peggy Loomis, 15. Both found dead April 14th in Spring Lake Park. Floyd Reed, age 34. Murdered in his home on May 3rd. Mrs. Reed shot twice, but survived. This man's identity is unknown. He was believed to be between 30 and 40 years old. He wore a white hood and was known only as the Phantom Killer. World War II had just ended. In Texarkana, Arkansas, boys had come home to their families. Husbands reunited with their wives. It was a happy, peaceful time. Until the Phantom Killer struck. For 4 months, he held an entire city in the icy grip of terror. Now, Charles B. Pierce brings this incredible, shocking, and true story to the screen in The Town That Dreaded Sundown, starring Academy Award winner Ben Johnson as Captain J.D. Morales of the Texas Rangers.
We got a cold-blooded killer here. A man who nobody sees. A phantom who, so far, hasn't made any mistakes.
Andrew Prine as Deputy Norman Ramsey of the Texarkana Sheriff's Department.
What's his name?
The only thing we really do know is that we've got a very strange
It's Jim. John Krasinski is quite old.
Yeah.
He's a time traveler. I saw him going to somebody's shed. Nope.
Got a suppressor.
Nope. A suppressed 22 pistol.
Town That Dreaded Sundown.
But
a true story.
Suppressed
It's
22
legit.
revolver.
yeah, it's a
You
good.
saw that as a kid?
And so, yeah, no, but it
Oh, who's the baddie?
it what's it called? So it's a true story, and he's pretty much like the Zodiac of the South. Because
yeah,
he's
dude.
still never been caught. They don't know who did it. It was all true events. They killed a bunch of people, and it's not something necessarily. It's not like I'm not praising it, but it was a movie based on a true event. Again, it's very similar to the Zodiac, but instead of writing fucking letters, he just went and fucking killed people.
Yeah.
He didn't write letters and leave notes. He just went and murder people.
Yeah, dude.
And he terrorized the shit out of but they did a remake, and I'll say the remake they did really fucking good. Surprised me. Honestly, surprised me.
We should probably just. Is there one looking real quick?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Or is there any other chairs?
No, I have one more you could pull up. Yeah. But then this one is...
So the remake came out, let's see. It should probably show up. If I look
right there, that's it. That's the...
2014?
Yep, so right below it, that's it. 2014.
I wonder who directed this. Let's see. Gary Cole?
It was on Tubi for a little while. It was on Tubi for a little while. Mm-hmm. And I mean...
That's what I watched Shadows on.
Grandma, do you remember anything about the murders?
Your great-grandpa and your great-grandma lived in this house when it happened. He was the boogeyman, they said. Can't catch the boogeyman. Can't kill the boogeyman. You know, before that summer, everybody would leave their doors unlocked. And after the summer, you saw a stranger, you'd run the other way. And now, he's back.
What do you want?
Turn around. Do not look back.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
The town of Texarkana has I don't know the time. Could the Zodiac be both these people potentially?
He killed me. He did it.
He chose that girl to be his messenger.
That's a good point.
They couldn't catch me 66 years ago, and they never will.
That would be genius if it was.
A soul consumed by vengeance.
We are not hunting a ghost. We are after a flesh and blood killer.
Multiple personas to get with killers. We're looking for different entire things. If not, that's a cool idea.
He's gonna make the town pay for its sins.
Some days turn out great. It's okay, 'cause some days turn out bright. It's alright.
It's a good trailer, man. It's a really good movie.
I'm going to do it again and again until you make them remember.
So it was a solid remake.
Yeah.
It was a solid remake because the original is going to be too kind of slow for some people. It's going to be too kind of like but
I was just trying to see dude, that looks legit. Dude, it just made me I was quick. Whether it's true or not, the idea of there's the Zodiac and this guy, it made me think, okay, what if the Zodiac was actually him? But who knows? Who knows, right? But then it just made me think of an idea for a book or a movie to where people always think of, and this has probably been done, but of serial killers as a single identity, right?
Yeah.
Which you think of all the energy it goes to. Well, what if there was a super high level genius serial killer, and he could truly have multiple personalities that are each incredibly genius, the same level of intellect, or it could just be one really smart psychopath that has the idea, I'm going to do all these killings literally with this whole personality and persona, call it the Zodiac as an example. I'm going to come here and do all these killings. I'm going to have the act entirely different from these killings, so they wouldn't even think it's the same killer, and then maybe have another one. So, to be like, I'm not just going to have the same calling card everywhere. I'm going to literally act like a completely different killer, but have a whole identity and brand. That'd be a cool idea.
So
probably been
they
done.
Call that load management in the NBA.
Dude, I'm saying you'd have to be. They would slip up at some point, right?
It's a creative way to extend your career in the.
Yeah.
So the Texarkana Moonlight Murders, a term coined by the contemporary press, was a series of 4 unsolved serial murders, and and related violent crimes committed in Texarkana region of the United States in early 1946.
Okay.
So that was early.
Probably
Hang
a
on.
little before Zodiac.
The Zodiac murder, the Zodiac killer murdered victims in San Francisco, in the San Francisco Bay Area between 1968 and 1969.
I'm going to do a little exercise real quick. Let's just see.
So 47 was Texarkana. 46, early 1946.
I'm just saying, theoretically,
30 years old in 46. Or
could
20,
the Zodiac killer...
20 years old in 46.
What's that killer's name?
The Moonlight. The other one doesn't have it. The Texarkana Moonlight Murders.
There you go. Moonlight Killer.
Moonlight Murders.
Yeah, this would be in
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The Zodiac Killer and the Texarkana Moonlight Killer could be the same person. It's intriguing, but it's unlikely for several reasons. Okay. Geographic and temporal, so 46. So, yeah, Zodiac Killer's 70s. There's a 20-year gap between the first two sets of crimes, make it less likely, though not impossible. The same person committed both. If the killer was young during the Texarkana murders, they could theoretically still be active during the Zodiac killings. So, who knows?
Yeah.
That's
That's a good point. That was a good point, because then maybe, because the early ones weren't really creative, they was just killing people. Then later he left notes.
It's food for thought.
Left notes. You might have just discovered something. Maybe someone's like, I think I know.
You think as a young
Who
person
knows?
just need to kill? They got older, they got smart about it.
Yeah, they claimed recently. I haven't finished the what's it called on Netflix.
Some kid smoked a cigarette and they found the Zodiac
On
killer.
Netflix or something. It's weird.
Yeah, well, it was 23andMe. Like,
Oh,
no,
shit. That's crazy.
Wasn't it the Zodiac? Or was that? Or no, that was the other one. That was the.
No.
There was another serial killer in California. It was like that. They ended up finding him because like somebody in his immediate family did like a genealogy.
Whoops.
Yeah, and they
connected him to some old murder or something. Yeah, it was like years
the kid
later.
was like, I never did that, and it's like, well, is your dad still alive? And
Oh,
it's like,
snap.
Yeah,
Papa. So is
The
there any other
Tenant.
trailers you want to pull up?
The Tenant.
The movie called The Tenant?
Yes.
It sounds so familiar to something that I love
It
so
might be
much.
familiar to you, Matthew.
The Tenant?
Tenant.
No,
Tenant. Okay.
like the renter.
1976.
There we go. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski. Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. Before he had to flee the country.
Paris.
Mm-hmm.
On a quiet street.
Young love.
In an old building.
Illegal.
Puppy
Young
A
love.
dead woman's vacant apartment is waiting. Waiting for the tenant. Roman Polanski is the tenant. In Chinatown, he exposed the dark side of corruption. In Repulsion, he explored a warped mind. In Rosemary's Baby, he examined the occult. Now, the tenant. Something altogether new, altogether chilling. No one does it to you like Roman Polanski.
Looking back is, yeah.
Lieutenant, a Roman Polanski film from
Speaks
Paramount Pictures.
a lot of depth in all that information. It's pretty interesting, pretty
A
fascinating.
bureaucrat
And
rents
the
a
things
Paris
they chose to
apartment
show in the-
where he finds himself drawn into a rabbit hole of dangerous paranoia.
Hell yeah, dude. That's legit. Sounds legit for 76.
legit.
See, a lot of good stuff came out that year. People should definitely check it out and get into it.
1976.
We just scratched the surface. There's Taxi Driver. There's so many films. We watched those.
Taxi Driver, yeah,
Definitely
there was
check
a lot
them
of
out. Oh, yeah.
fantastic
All the President's Men, like I said,
movies,
no,
all
yeah,
of the
dude.
President's Men.
All of them. All of them.
Let me tell you about
these
these men. These men are incredible. They're such handsome men. They look a lot like Tom Cruise, just a little bit taller. They're just really,
There was no lights.
really. I'm telling you, you
Not
couldn't
even a
see a
speck.
light. Couldn't see a light on the runway. It's just really
see a
quite
light.
incredible.
Well, I'm going to
No,
take a
what was
quick
your-
little... I got to take... Oh, what do you want to say? What
Weren't
you
you
got?
going to do one more movie?
We was taking a break.
Snap, what did I forget?
A comedy that came out that year?
Well, I put up the big bus. What?
Oh,
Just tell me what it is.
Silent.
Oh, shit. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
You
Good.
really
That's why...
dicked
That's,
that up.
Dude, there's so many things I'm thinking. That's why I'm glad you're here, brother. We gotta definitely do this trailer.
Yeah,
here.
because we were sold a bill of goods when
Yeah,
we
no.
watched this movie.
Tell the depth of our history together that where this is.
So, there was
silent?
a guy that used to live with Matt, the guy that went to church with us, that, I don't know, that Pops took in. How the fuck do we describe that?
Yeah, either way, yeah. He was the guy that from a church lived a bit. I rented this movie and when I was like,
he suggested the
6th, 8th
movie.
grade. Oh, he did. That's
and
right.
swore to us that, like, we're like, dude, we don't want to watch a silent movie. And he's like, no, it's not actually a silent movie.
It's Mel Brooks.
Just called that.
Guy
and
did Blazing
blah, blah,
Saddles.
blah.
This is one of his movies.
And so we're like, okay, cool. And we're like, how old? 14?
Yeah,
13?
very young.
You know, so between 12 and 15. And he's like, yeah, it's not actually silent. It's hilarious, though. You should watch it.
It's Mel Brooks funny.
I never noticed on Blazing Saddles. Look at his headdress. Yeah.
Saddles.
It's got fucking, what's it called on it?
20th Century Fox
Like
presents
Yiddish
the greatest
or
movie
whatever.
of the 20th century. Mel Brooks' silent movie. Starring Mel Brooks, Marty Feldman, Dom DeLuise, Sid Caesar,
Because it actually is a silent movie minus the one person that talks. Which is the joke.
It'll probably show it.
It's a genius joke. It's a genius.
Liza Minnelli,
If anything, the movie exists probably for that one joke.
Yeah, 100%.
Mel Brooks is a genius.
Paul Newman's, and it's like, it really did have a cast.
Yeah, no, Mel Brooks.
silent movie is outrageous, rip-roarious, and side-splitting.
Rip-roarious. That's what our podcast is.
Rip-roarious.
We're rip-roarious.
You'll see if the scene is in your...
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if it will be.
Silent movie is the funniest comedy in 50 years, says Vernon Scott of UPI.
UPS.
Newsweek calls silent movie Mel Brooks' best film. Time magazine calls it inspired lunacy, funny without mercy. It's Mel's most magnificent madness. Silent movie.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
There's one person who says something, and then we're not going to say who it was, but there is a speaking at some point, and the joke is who speaks. I think the movie exists for this one joke, and it's pretty freaking genius. So yeah, is there any other anything else we need to get into?
Y'all ever seen the TV show Dark?
Dude, it could maybe we should see if there's a trailer for it that we never knew.
Is there a trailer for Dark?
The depth of the show, the time travel.
Trailer for Dark. Y'all should look up the show Dark. It's
great.
on
and so
Netflix.
1976 was great.
Yeah.
And
76 was a fantastic year. If I can think of it, you know, I mean, shoot, Beefeater was a fantastic drink at the time.
Yeah, and
it was a popular drink. Beefeater, rum.
I don't know why you wait to
not
the end.
rum,
I'm just
it was-
going to do next year's now.
It's gin.
Like, why do we wait? So let's quickly
spin
find
the wheel
out what
of
next thrills.
spin the wheel of destiny.
So last week we figured out if we just put what was a random number generator and Google at it.
Yep. I swear next week I'm gonna have so much more info, so many more better
Right
movies. 10. The year
There we
is
go.
10.
So let's put them in 1955 and max 2000 because
2000.
we definitely covered everything from 2000 on.
No, 1999. Shouldn't that be the max?
All right. Either way, we found a movie.
1993. And I'm gonna have a lot of bangers.
Damn, dude,
I'm gonna
already
talk a
know
lot. I know so many. I know more than you do.
One of the most important movies in my life came out this year.
One of the most important times of my life happened in 93.
Dude.
MASH.
Okay. 1993. Be singing. Okay. This has been great.
I'm a big fan of MASH.
So we've this great homework assignment. So let me see. We're done with the movies. Done with that for now. We talked about that fun stuff. I'm trying to think. You want to go next, or do you want to do topic box now? We don't know what. I'm kind of scared about whatever this one's gonna be.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take a quick.
Okay,
quick
well
break
then, yeah.
to these Velo, and then
Well,
we'll see what
okay,
it
yeah,
is.
let's take a.
And we're back. We had a little quick.
We're back.
We're back.
Are we? No, I'm asking. Are we back?
Oh, we're back.
Oh,
we're back.
I knew that. I was
We
just
are
joking.
back.
This
I mean,
is
are we back?
satirical comedy.
It is comedy.
Everybody loves weird, wacky stuff. I'm gonna eat a banana with my foot.
We're having a blast.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
We're gonna check some email real quick though.
Oh,
We're gonna check. We're gonna check a little email.
more? Do we have more? Have more?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. The
What are you
topic
checking the
box.
email for?
Let's see.
It scares me. My email scares the shit out of me, dude. I've got like 7,000
So I got the
unread
Mikey
emails.
folder here. Where does it come to? 8:47 p.m. This is today. This is today, guys. We're all right. This is from Bird.
No, this is BURD, not BIRD is normally what we get.
So this
is Bird.
This is a different Bird. Let's see. I'll let you read this, Sir Michael.
Okay.
Don't you make it
shit.
larger? You good?
All right. Okay. Here we go. Topic suggestion. Have you ever heard of the conspiracy theory about cats being aliens? The idea is that cats are actually aliens sent to Earth to observe and study humans. Here's the breakdown. 1. Mysterious behavior. Cats often stare at walls or into space, which some people think is them communicating with their alien overlords. 2. Night vision. Their ability to see in the dark is considered an alien trait, as if they have advanced technology in their eyes. 3. Independence. Unlike dogs, cats are more independent and seem to have their own secretive agendas, which adds to the mystery. I don't know. They are pretty secretive. Let's see what's under that number. Scroll down a little. Number 4, telepathic powers.
Okay, we go.
Some believe that cats can read our minds or influence our thoughts with their purring, which is supposedly an alien technology. Okay, hold on. Now you got me. You got me here. Technique. Sorry, I said
we'll
technology.
keep going.
I said
This
alien technique. Jesus. Number 5. 9 lives. The myth that cats have 9 lives is sometimes linked to their supposed alien origins, suggesting they have superior healing or regenerative abilities. It's not. I mean, so it's making a good case for itself. What do you want from me?
No, yeah. So
the purring thing.
Yeah, no. Some just could think, reflect.
I know they say that
the vibrations and the purring. There's.
I've heard that about.
I've
like,
literally
the
that
healing.
because I had a cat. I had Chief. In footage, I always would wonder like if I didn't feel or just him sitting purring, laying on my chest, just wondering that the vibrations that it puts out and emits are so like unique.
Oh yeah.
That the potential healing properties that might have, you know, regardless of them being aliens or not.
Yeah.
I like this because it brings up things that it's worth thinking about cats. It's fun. It's fun.
I've heard about. That apparently, like them, like meowing or whatever, that they don't do that.
So they do that for us.
They do that because they're mimicking a baby.
Yes,
they're mimicking a baby.
this is
crying,
true.
And that they don't actually do that with each other.
Yeah, it's not a natural. They literally do that for our
humans
benefit.
because it mimics a baby crying, and so it's.
And
like,
Chief
it's how
would
they
do some of the craziest weird baby cries sometimes. If you've ever heard, that's a whole rabbit hole of cat baby. But being aliens, it's a fun idea. There's so many reasons why
they could be.
They could be. That's all I'll say.
Matthew has pretty solid evidence.
And then they have.
They could be.
What's the parasite?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the parasite?
Yeah,
they
in their
give you?
pee or something,
No, from
technically, or their.
shit.
It's in there. I thought it was in their pee.
No, it's because what is it called?
Yeah, it's like.
What is it? No, it's
I don't know
I
the
can't
name.
think of the, but yeah, it's like a brain thing or whatever. That's why they say like crazy cat ladies or something. It's like mastoply or I can't think of what it's called.
Here we go.
But
either way, it has something to do with, I think it's their their pee or their poop, where it has some type of parasite and it can
your brain and stuff like
that. It makes people's behavior more erratic and stuff like that. Their behavior can be.
We talk about like people being more prone to like taking risks, and stuff like that. I can't think of what the fuck it's called though. It's not like a groundbreaking thing though. Like a lot of people know of it.
Yeah, so we're talking about loosely. What is it? Some cat.
It's
parasite.
Some cat parasite that might make crazy cat ladies.
Makes crazy.
It sounds like you're describing dopamine dysregulation-driven behavior, which is linked to risk. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Are you talking about
toxoplasmosis? Yeah, that's what it is. Toxoplasmosis.
Okay. A parasite that can infect cats and link to behavioral changes in humans. Toxoplasma gondii is commonly spread through cat feces or undercooked meat. While it doesn't usually cause noticeable symptoms in healthy people, there's fascinating research suggesting it might influence human behavior. Infected individuals could show increased risk-taking, impulsivity, or even altered emotional responses, leading to theories about this role in things like crazy cat lady syndrome. Some studies suggest that T. gondii might affect the brain's dopamine system, which could explain these behavioral shifts.
So maybe they are aliens. Because they're shit.
That's powerful information at the end of the day.
Powerful
That's
info. Yeah,
quite
you
powerful
should
information.
you should be aware of your cat's potent poop.
Shit, we don't need to talk to my wife about this.
Well, that's one of the, that's one of the reasons
she's
they
gonna,
say not to have like.
She's gonna be worried about this.
Have cats around like pregnant women and stuff like that. Like
this is why
not to have. This is
one of the many possible reasons. Yeah. Interesting stuff, yo.
So I have an interesting guy I'd like to bring up to you guys. If you,
are we done with the topic box?
Or is it done, or is there more?
No, there's one. If we're moving on,
I think so.
I want to be able to say so.
Yeah, I think
any
unless
more
we're doing
thoughts?
more than one.
No, this is it. But
I want
to make sure. So there was
more thoughts.
So
have I heard it?
Yeah,
to
quickly
answer the question, had I heard the theory? No.
I want to just hear your quick.
Do I think
thoughts to each step? I think the bird would probably like it. If some mysterious behavior, we can acknowledge that. A night vision. I think of owls and stuff. So what are your just your thoughts on these
it's
things?
Like they're definitely seeing something. Whether it's like I don't.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely could be.
9 Lives is the most fascinating one at the end of the day. So they could be aliens. That alone is the most powerful one. Is that they survive?
Alien
so much.
observers is the thing again.
I hope they are, because that way Chief might not actually be dead in my freezer. And moving on.
Be seeing it.
Be seeing.
Be seeing it.
Thank you, Bird. Thank you, Bird, for that.
Bird, that was powerful.
It's quite powerful. And
Bird with a U.
By the way, birds aren't real.
We're closing the box till next
Cats
week.
are aliens and birds aren't real. So that was a fake question from a cat.
All right, Captain, my captain,
so,
take us on.
Captain, my captain. So I have a guy
now,
that I knew that I used to work with.
Yeah.
And he actually could grow pizzas.
Shut your face.
And I have some of his studies right here. No, I'm just kidding. That was a lie.
We can keep going.
Matt was like,
with me.
damn it.
You can't play with pizzas.
Can't grow pizzas.
And my love of them gets obfuscated.
So I have some stuff here on him, and I can read some things, but as I go, I'm sure if you want to look up his picture, that might be fun.
All right, let's have some fun.
The North Pond Hermit. That's the nickname given to this man.
It's amazing they got a picture of him.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
it's the name. The North Pond Hermit is the nickname given to Christopher Knight, a man who gained national attention in the United States for living in the woods of Maine for 27 years, essentially as a hermit without any human contact.
He does. That's my friend up there in Maine if she knows.
His story.
There we go.
His story is one of isolation, survival, and self-imposed exile. Born in 1965, Knight left his home in the small town of Rome, Maine, at the age of 20 in 1986. He drove into the woods, parked his car, and disappeared into the forest, choosing a life of extreme solitude. So
86 to
this
2013.
This dude got arrested eventually. I can let's see.
Further delaying his interaction with the outside world.
So this is a guy somehow he's ran out of gas and decided to live in the woods for 20 years.
Literally,
right?
It's the sequel. It's the sequel to.
He's like, I'm just gonna stay here. I think I'm good here. I think
it's the sequel to Falling Down.
I made it.
He's having a bad day, maybe.
I think you realize that any place is as good as one place is as good as any, and I think it just clicked for him, and he got there, and he's like, fuck it, why not? Here's good. Here's good. Like
I'd like to pretend like he had a wife and kids and some huge life that he just casually went away from, but probably not.
Well,
but that's a funny idea.
That was the premise of the movie Falling Down.
Yeah,
That it was like he was stuck in traffic.
Yeah,
and then he's
that
just
is
like,
true.
fuck it. He gets out of his car and walks off. And so it's like this is the sequel. He's just in a rural area, gets out, walks out.
This is the real life sequel.
So it says, let's see, 1986. He drove into the woods, parked his car.
Culture shock when you come out of those woods in 2013.
Knight built a camp near North Pond in the woods of Kennebec Country,
Kennebec and visit it.
Kennebec County, where he lived alone in a tent in a small shelter, relying on skills like foraging. Wait, I love this. Hang on.
Dude,
I love this. Relying on skills like foraging and theft to survive.
Dude, foraging is one of my favorite words. And I always think foraging
theft.
for berries. Those two things come to mind.
Theft is
okay.
He survived primarily by stealing food and supplies from nearby camps, homes, and stores, a practice he continued for nearly 3 decades. Knight's existence remained a secret until 2013, when he was arrested for burglary after being caught stealing food. His capture made headlines across the country, and his story became a subject of intense interest. During his time living in isolation, he never interacted with anyone, choosing not to speak to others or seek human connection. He had no social interaction, and his only communication with the outside world was through theft. So he figured
that was his
out
form of communication.
He figured out.
I like that they like.
No, that was his only. No, those is. Yeah, okay, yeah. His
Is
only
that what
form
it
of
said?
communication with the outside world was
stole
through
to
theft.
speak. Yeah.
That was his language. That's how he spoke. Knight's motivations for becoming a hermit are complex and not entirely clear. He has stated that he was seeking peace and quiet. Yeah, right. Just leave me alone, like you said. Maybe he's running from his wife and kids. Trying to escape from the pressure of modern society and wanting to live a life free from the constraints of social norms. However, he also spoke about how the isolation started as a voluntary choice, but over time, it became more difficult to return to the world.
The stench that he was probably I tried, but they told me to leave.
After his arrest, Knight was sentenced to a brief prison term,
Wait, so what was he arrested for?
Which he was released for burglary.
Oh yeah,
Knight was sentenced to a brief long-term. He was
arrested for trying to communicate.
Y'all got me fucked up. Knight was sentenced to a brief prison term, after which he was released and resumed a quiet life.
They released him back to the woods like a captured animal. Albeit
not in complete isolation. His story was later chronicled in the book, quote, "The Stranger in the Woods" by Michael Finkel.
You have to read this book for next week's episode.
Ray Finkel. F-I-N-K-E-L, Finkel.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Which delves deeper into his motivations, life in the woods, and what it was like to live such an extreme solitary existence. The North Pond Hermit's life raises questions about society, human connection, and the desire for solitude, and remains one of the most fascinating stories of modern hermitism in America.
Hermitism. No, I know. No. And the guy that wrote the book was Finkel.
That fool just
And
Finkel is Einhard, and Einhard is
wasn't
Finkel.
That the whole thing about Ray Finkel, that he disappeared and then came back as Einhorn?
Dang, we're connecting
then you got
dots.
Finkel to write the book. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not saying that it's connected.
So
to
yeah.
the
So
cat.
with that being said, what I mean, do you think, guys? How would you start if you were, say, you did run out of gas? Like, can you relate at all to this guy?
Yes.
You can relate, like.
Not at all.
I wonder if he had a cat.
No, but I mean,
He might have had Masto.
It's just funny.
Fucking whatever it's called.
It's like, dude said, "Fuck it, man." Seriously, like, think about that.
I can think of it as like a fleeting
I'd want to talk to my
daydream.
buddy. I'd want to talk to my
but
buddy.
not reality, because I never wanted to leave anything I've.
Well, not only that, but think about it. He had to steal his food.
But that was in it, like little quests that he had.
Yeah, it's like, it's
that was a daily
he was
quest. He
leveling up.
had every day he woke up with purpose. I need to find food and find a way to live.
Yeah, he was
and I don't know if you
leveling
hear,
up
if you listen to podcasts enough and Joe Rogan, the high people they literally use the word like quest in like just with their daily just lives like tech cruise
We call it
and Zuckerberg.
gamification.
Exactly, but gamifying their own existence, which makes sense. Because grip that way is fascinating.
Like achievement.
Yeah. So,
Keep spec.
no, I'm done. You go, brother.
Okay. Well, do you want to hear about another kid?
I
pretty
look forward to
insane?
whatever
like
this
you
is.
saying that about his little quests or whatever.
Here we
made
go.
me think.
You went on a quest, see?
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, have y'all ever heard of the Barefoot Bandit?
The Bad News Bears Bandit?
The Barefoot Bandit. Okay, so the Barefoot Bandit is the nickname given to
claws.
The Barefoot Bandit is the nickname given to Colton Harris Moore, a notorious American fugitive who gained national attention for his crime spree, which included a series of burglaries, car thefts, airplane theft, all while evading authorities for several years. Born on March 22nd, 1991. Shout out. In Washington State, Harris Moore's criminal activities began in his teenage years. His nickname comes from his habit of committing many of his crimes without wearing shoes.
This was in Arkansas?
No, which I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
Which made him stand out. And lead to his iconic moniker.
Okay, then it wouldn't have stood out if it wasn't Arkansas.
Yeah, right.
Been like,
they're like, that's
Johnny.
normal. Nobody wears shoes out here. The story of Harris Moore's criminal exploits began when he was 16 years old. After fleeing a group home, he went on the run, living in the wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. Over the years he committed Over the years he committed dozens of burglaries, often targeted homes, businesses, and boats. He would steal food and supplies and use them to survive in the forest. There's a whole thing. Eventually it gets crazier. However, Harris Moore's crimes escalated and he gained notoriety when he began stealing small planes. Between 2008 and 2010, he managed to steal and fly several aircraft, evading capture each time. Despite authorities launching a nationwide manhunt, his ability to fly planes without any formal flight training captivated the public and made him a folk hero for some.
Yeah.
As his audacity and resourcefulness earned him a mixed admiration and fear. The police, however, were determined to catch him after years of evading them.
Just sounds
Harris,
like a dopehead.
Yeah, Harris Moore was finally captured. That's why I said you saying that about like little quests, him robbing houses and shit, like stealing planes.
He stole the planes and flew them to a location.
He was
because
just on a
could strip
GTA
them for
server.
Copper. He was like, "I'm gonna fly this plane to an undisclosed location, strip it for copper."
It was having the time of his life every day.
Months.
So it says Harris Moore was finally captured in the Bahamas in July 2010 after being apprehended. He was extradited to the U.S. where he faced charges for multiple crimes, including theft, burglary, and aircraft theft.
That's the one I know more about this aircraft theft.
In 2011, Moore pled guilty to several of the charges and was sentenced to nearly 7 years in federal prison. He was released on parole in 2016 after serving about 6 years. After serving about 6 years of his sentence. Since his release, Harris Moore has largely stayed out of the public eye, although his story has been the subject of books, documentaries. The media has been the subject of books and documentaries and media coverage, including the 2014 book, The Barefoot Bandit. The True Tale of Colin Harris Moore, New American Outlaw. That's another book by Bob Farrell, which tells the story of his crimes and eventual capture. Harris Moore's story remains one of the more bizarre and sensational tales of modern crime, involving theft, aviation, and a young man living on the run for years.
So let's go a little more into the aviation.
Bro, this is just boys having fun.
I want to know more about the
So
aviation.
look up, if you want to share something, go to YouTube. I saw a whole documentary that this dude put together on him, and we can probably find something.
Hello, honey. We did talk about.
Huh? What?
Oh yeah, he did. He's shit.
My drink. Oh shit. I was like,
You see the effect you have on people?
Who is that, Lily? Who is that, Lily? You going to get her, Lily?
Get them, Lily.
Get her, Lily.
Get them.
Get
I'm in the process. I'm doing some real time troubleshooting. Is for people. It's magical.
So, what happened? Did we glitch?
Yeah, no, these keep going.
Okay.
These keep talking. Just know that I'm working on things.
Here, let me find.
it would look like it was.
Let me find the video for you, because
Yeah,
you say you want to know more about this
shot set up
aviation.
To like pull stuff up is gonna be a bit.
I got you. You say you want to know the. Let
Yeah.
me find that here.
No, I can look it up, but I'm just not gonna be sharing things on the screen. So what am I looking up? Some dude. Actually, I'm so stupid. Here, see, watch. I'll turn this bad boy on. Let's see. What do you want to search, Sir Michael?
Norm.
Well, I mean, you can look him up if you wanted to just see him at least.
Aviation.
Just
theft
type in
by
Barefoot Bandit.
Barefoot Bandit.
Just type that in. Colin
I'm not
Moore.
typing anything, Mikey.
Huh?
What?
Oh yeah, he's using voice.
Oh, the onion. I was like, wait a minute. Little boy heroically shoots in Myrtle.
No, stop. Let's see. So, aviation theft by the Barefoot Bandit.
Yeah, just Barefoot Bandit. Just type Barefoot Bandit. Oh, I see.
What? Anyway, I'm just gonna Chris, because I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to be smart. Let's see. I'll just type. I can't. Barefoot Bandit aviation theft. Barefoot.
Oh, get her, Lil. Yeah. Cat Pug. Cat Pug.
What is it?
That's Cat Pug. Oh, sweet girl.
Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, she got to sniff your face.
Yeah.
And he's known as the Barefoot Bandit.
She
got me like right here, and it hurt so bad.
She like scratched your face.
I hadn't heard of the Barefoot Bandit until today. She was like trying to say.
I don't think this is what we're looking for here. Is
So no, this is what it is. It's actually, the thing about it though is that it's. I'll tell you this. I can give you the link and people can go watch it.
There we go.
It's an hour and 17 minutes long.
Goodness gracious.
But no, here's the thing. It's an amazing. It has 8.2 million views.
So
It's
we
an
need to
amazing.
we'll share this link.
It's an amazing like.
It'll
It
be on
tells
the
the
socials.
story of him in such a way where it's like they play like throughout it. They have like a cartoon depiction of these different things, which is pretty
snap,
neat.
So that might be what I just pulled up here. An hour and 17 minutes. Yeah, this is it. This must be that.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to the beginning. Yeah.
An hour and 17 minutes. 8.2 million views 5 years ago.
That's
This
it.
is it.
Yes, that's the documentary. It's actually really fucking good.
This is an example of people making a badass documentary just on their own.
It was really 8.2 million views.
Speaks for itself.
Like it's really well, man.
Me saying you.
No,
we got things to do, Mike.
Yeah, put it on.
All right, guys.
No, I'm kidding.
We're
gonna finish out the episode with a quick hour. How long
reaction to.
No, I
Barefoot
definitely
Bandit.
check it out.
No, but it really is a good. It's a good watch, just because it's like you'll honestly want it to be longer. I remember watching it, looking down at my phone because I was just watching it on my phone. It was one of those things where I was watching a video on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, like I started another video, and it just rolled into another one, and then I'm like, kind of got hooked on it.
Yeah.
And so then at that point, I'm like, well, I'm here. Like, and then I look down and
that's
I'm
a
like,
beautiful. That's
oh shit.
I mean, capturing that magic feeling of stumbling into something and
Yeah.
actually being so into
It's
it
like,
that
oh,
you
this
stick
is-
around for like
yeah.
another hour. That's
oh man,
just
I
a
watched.
magical,
Like I said,
it's a fleeting rare thing. Whenever
that's chasing the dragon. That's
that really
you
is.
can't intentionally do that.
It used to happen a lot more than it does now. Like your feed gets curated a little bit.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, dude.
You want to see one of the? Do you want to pull up one of my like all-time favorite funny videos on YouTube? It's like 3 minutes long, 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's take a quick break so I can
break.
fix some stuff.
Yeah, you need to fix some stuff. Honestly, though, you don't need to fix anything because you're perfect.
To me.
Oh, and we're back. And yeah, so you were just you saying that about isn't it funny? Like, isn't it cool whenever you find those magic moments where you find a thing a video you end up staying on and you watch the whole way through and you enjoy it, whatever. This is a little less serious, but this is a video that, again, I randomly stumbled upon years ago, not long after it came out. Probably 4 years or so after it came out, I found this video, and it's forever been one of my favorite videos on the internet. And it's just this guy that made a funny video with his camera in 2003 on July 27th at 11:53 a.m. I know that because it says that on the camera log. But yeah, no. So if Matt will roll that beautiful bean footage,
that beautiful bread
footage. That was perfect.
Can find a way to be wired.
Do it live.
Before he gets going, people see things with devices and wires. I hate them more than anything. You just find a way to work with them in this wireless technology. I try and base as much as I can, but there's a limit. Let's go.
I like wires.
They are.
Don't worry, the audio's off. It's on his end.
Gunsmithing is my favorite hobby, and as with every hobby I do, we're going to be drinking beer.
Ain't that the truth?
A buddy of mine, Dick Van Dyke,
sorry,
and he's having a few problems with it. So we're going to make a few minor adjustments, but I want to go ahead and tell you up front that gunsmithing is not for everybody. It's a dangerous hobby, and it requires all the right tools, of which I've spent many years collecting. First thing you always want to do when you're gunsmithing. The very first thing. Ain't no telling what kind of jackass will bring you a gun.
Dude.
He could be a total moron. And most of the time, somebody who doesn't
This
know
is the way you would act,
about
this
guns,
character.
He's dumb. That's okay. It's how I make a living. I'm the one doing the smithing.
Dude, this is exactly
When
how
you
you'd
get a
act when
gun,
you're
the
young.
very first thing you need to do is go ahead and make sure that it is, first of all, a safe weapon. A safe weapon is a weapon that doesn't have any bullets in it.
You like this because they remind you of him.
There's a lot of different ways to do it. You could look down the end of the barrel and see if it was loaded. You could open the chamber or pull the trigger. This gun was loaded.
It was.
Hell, it's still loaded.
Hell, it's still loaded.
One thing's for damn sure, that's the best way to tell it's unloaded.
What?
If you've shot out the bullets out of it, my God, it's unloaded. Well, Dick brought his rifle by. Now that we got that out of the way, well, I'm gonna have to have a talk with old Dick. This little beauty right here is a Marlin semi-automatic 22 with a custom camouflage paint gun done right here at Bread Smithing. First thing we're going to do to this gun is he wants to pass it on down. It's such a nice piece. So we're going to shorten the stock just a titch.
No, I remember it. Don't worry.
It was hitting
I
a
know what
little
I'm
bit to the left. We're going to
He's got
rear sight to the left.
Here you go, bud. It's such a nice piece.
Damn it. Now that you got it all shortened up, feeling pretty sweet.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to drip that sight. I know it's the right height because I can feel it. That takes a lot of training to know. But when it's right, it's right. Right now, it's right. Okay?
Dude, this is you, Chris. This is so you.
We're going to drip
This
this
fucking
sight.
Warhammer, bro.
Was.
He pulled a
It's going to look
Warhammer.
a little harsh
out of his
Not
own
you in
ass.
real life, but if you were acting this character.
Look.
It across the rear blade
That's a fucking war.
in a manner such as this.
Like this a rock. this a rock, you know? You say, pass me the rock.
Not quite it. Get my gun bias, brought to you by Natural Light. We're going to give her one more drift here. And I think she's going to be good. Now, something I generally don't do
Poor fucking rifle.
is work on a gun without my safety goggles. I got a little splatter then.
The leg kick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the leg.
Nailed it.
Oh, perfect.
Dude.
That's perfect.
This is comedy
That's
genius.
the one right there.
If I can
Nailed
draw
it.
that Warhammer spike.
There ain't no damn way she couldn't be.
Dude, just like
Damn way she
That is
couldn't be.
amazing.
I just love that video, dude.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite
That
videos.
dude
Kentucky
right there,
Ballistic.
You see that scar on his neck, Pitts?
Yeah?
Blow up the screen right quick and look at that scar on his neck.
He like
On the right there?
Yeah, just literally go full screen. You see that big scar on his neck?
Right there?
He had a 50 cal blow up on him, and he ended up like it severed his fucking.
And now he plays chess.
He had to literally like stick a.
He had to relearn how to play chess, and that's all he can do.
I have
a
a
video of it's on YouTube. Kentucky Ballistics. It's fucking wild.
I have another fellow we could talk about.
Yeah, just go.
It's and now this is gonna get. We're gonna take a turn here. We're gonna take this guy.
Mikey Nepog.
Some stuff. Okay.
It's.
I don't know if that's the turn I meant.
Into the dark arts.
NPR.
NPR.
Yeah.
And if you could give us $13
so much.
Thank you.
And Adnan was actually
that's such a great
playing
pod.
with cell phone towers.
Yeah,
It's so great to be
Thank you
here
so much, Matthew.
with you guys.
It's so nice.
I could
It's
get the fuck on.
amazing. Could you guys,
Oh, what?
could
What?
you guys stop microaggressing?
Fuck you. Itzhak Bentov. Itzhak Bentov.
Common spelling.
Itzhak Bentov.
Oh,
Itzhak.
Isaac Bentov.
No, Itzhak Bentov. That's how you pronounce it. Some people would like to say it that way.
The Pond Hermit.
Yeah, the Pond Hermit. You can pull them up if you'd like. Do you have them up already?
I'll pull things up for you. What would you like?
I can do it, but
Yeah, I like you doing it. It's fun when you pull it up and talk from your phone. I
Okay.
prefer that.
he's interesting. He's an
I
interesting
can
person.
sit here like this, Mikey, when you do that. See how carefree I am when I don't have to do that. I feel great. I don't know if you feel great.
No, I mean I feel great. I love that you're just in the back seat and I'm
captain.
just driving this thing along, and you're just along for the ride because I feel like you're at a better. You can just chill.
Thank you.
But this guy had some interesting. He had some
Some interesting ideas.
He did. He worked the CIA, I believe, worked with
We're
this
talking about
fella.
Ted Bundy here, right?
He had a strange. Yeah, hang on. Let's see. I'm trying to get to. Let's see. All right, I'll get to it's. I'm gonna have to do a bit more work than I typically have to do on these on the fly like lookups because Wikipedia is only giving me so much, and there's something. It's
Okay,
not.
We can tag team this though.
No.
Eiffel Tower.
I got it. I got it.
Put your hands together at the top and work ends.
That is how his name. Itzhak, or is it? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Itzhak Bentov. Okay. It's born August 9th, 1923, May 25th, 1979. Was an Israeli-American scientist, inventor, mystic, and author. His many inventions include the steerable cardiac catheter. Helped pioneer biomedical engineering industry. He was also an early proponent.
Sounds like something they can like steer into
the sun.
No, like when they're going into
into
heart
like
surgery
the heart
and stuff
surgery.
like that,
Okay.
where they're able to like
Yeah,
steer
that makes
it up
sense.
into where it would.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, probably. He was also an early proponent of what comes to be referred to as consciousness, and this is what I wanted to bring this up for. Consciousness studies, and authored several books on the subject.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere that I can see it.
So, let's see. His occupation, again, scientist, inventor, author. Bentov was killed in the crash of American Airlines 191 shortly after takeoff from Chicago O'Hare Airport in 1979.
I can already think of
which remains one of the worst non-terrorism related aviation disasters to have taken place on U.S. soil. His early works, I guess, is
Tinfoil Hat is they took him out and they actually were willing to sacrifice everyone on there because of whatever information or whatever this guy, the power of information, who knows? That's the Tinfoil Hat.
Some might believe. Bentov was born in Czechoslovakia. In present-day Slovakia, is like 1923 Cold War, World War II. His parents, his younger brother and sister, were killed in Nazi concentration camps. He narrowly escaped being sent to the camps, moved to the British Palestine. Let's see, what the fuck? I'm running out of battery here, so I'm gonna have to get to what his book.
Yeah, no, I'm keep going, but I'm
I'm trying to get to his book right here.
You get your charging cable?
Copy.
Yeah, it says right here, Bentov was Bentov was fascinated by consciousness, in particular how it related to psychology.
Yeah, so you're referring to Itzhak Bentov, who's a pioneer of the analytical field. He wrote the book Stalking the Wild Pendulum on the Mechanics of Consciousness.
Yep.
Yeah, where he examined the intersection of physics, consciousness, and mysticism. Tragically, he lost his life in that flight we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says he was a very introverted person, but also a person who was not the type you would normally think would be an introvert. He was a very spiritual person. He did meditate and was a very softly spoken person. He was interested in how the brain worked and actually attached electrodes to the head, which were connected to the function generators in which he could change the wave shape and power, and learned about how the brain interprets these different frequencies. John Abel, that was his quote on him. Benton's invention was a seismograph device to record the heartbeat, in particular aortic reverberation.
Yeah, interesting. Aorta.
Yeah. At first I was just struggling with, I'm like, what the fuck word is that? And I'm like, aorta. Mark Seffer described the results during, quote, normal breathing. The reverberation is the aorta. Whatever. We don't need to know about that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the shit that probably got him killed. And that was his book on consciousness.
That was
he figured
his
it out.
heart. It attacked him.
No, yeah.
Shout out Norm.
Let's see.
So, yeah, you're talking about the subtle oscillations of the body that you believe to connect the broader frequencies in the universe. It's possible this type of thinking, challenging mainstream science, pushing the metaphysical, was viewed as radical. Given his tragic death, it's intriguing to wonder how much further he might have been. Yeah, I'm just trying to read what this was saying. That's some wild stuff. Because he bridged the gap between neuroscience, physics, and spirituality. It's kind of a high-level thing, laying groundwork for future studies on biofeedback, brainwaves, and consciousness expansion. Dang. So we're just trying to wonder about theories, potential theories on if he was actually taken out intentionally and what those theories might be.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been, but I was more or less interested in what it was saying. Like his the one thing, I don't know where in the fuck it went, but
So here's, I just got some possible theories for that crash. If you want me to read, or if he has, possible theories were a threat to established systems. His blending of science, metaphysics, and spirituality challenged conventional thinking. Let's see. Military or intelligence interests. Some have speculated that his understanding of vibrations, frequencies, and mechanics of consciousness might have applications in fields like mind control, weaponry, or advanced technologies. Corporate suppression. As an inventor, particularly in biomedical engineering, Bentov's work could have posed a threat to large corporations. Metaphysical or esoteric knowledge is another one. Bentov's metaphysical writings, such as Stalking the Wild Pendulum, hinted at knowledge that linked the different worlds. Let's see, why the crash? The crash was officially attributed to mechanical failure, a detached engine due to improper maintenance. However, conspiracy theories arise.
Detached engine.
See, that sounds like...
I mean, I get...
Oh, damn, that a detached engine. Like, that's an... Okay.
I feel like, yeah, those mounts, like, how do you...
So that's on the official report, a detached engine? I'm sorry.
It was like some idiocracy, dude. Your shit's all fucked up.
I think
it's all ball bearings.
Oh,
Randomness of the crash seems too convenient. Final thoughts. While these theories remain speculative,
those aren't fireworks.
Oh, some more sounds in the background.
Yeah, that was like 6 gunshots. Stephanie will be in here in a second to be like, "Were those fireworks?"
Here, I just sent you. I think I found the CIA document on like his research, maybe.
Okay, let's see.
Potentially.
Something here. CIA government reading room document. Ooh, okay, that's
super tiny.
No, yeah, but that's if I can.
I don't know if it's.
Here, I'm just gonna download it and the power of everything that I do here. Snap. Okay, you can keep talking. Just I'm about to help us out here. If this shiza works. So you sent me a PDF link, correct?
Yeah, and that's okay, yeah, here's what I don't know who these correspondents are between, but like it's saying like it's like approval for release 2003 910 CIA, and then a bunch of fucking numbers. Department of the Army, U.S. Operational Group, U.S. Army Intelligence Security, Maryland.
I want to download.
Subject commander of the U.S. Army, and that doesn't say from. I think it's supposed to be that guy. Or that's him, Commander.
So
the
repository of
check this one might be
declassified documents appears to be document related to programs, say a Stargate project likely involving topics of remote viewing or other psychic phenomena. If you have specific questions about the content,
that's the one that, Sean Ryan and them
a document want to know. Yeah, so what all do you want to know about?
I sent you the link right there. Like I think it was, I don't know why it came up. It just seemed like it popped up when I was on that.
This is what you just had pulled up.
Yeah,
Mikey?
yeah.
Can you scroll down a little bit, Pets?
Yeah, I'm just.
I can show you where the meat and potatoes are if I can.
Let's see what this declassified. This is it's just gonna still be dealing with the gateway experience in terms of mechanics and ultimate practicality.
No, wait, scroll down. Scroll down.
Let me just download it real quick. Hold on, let's see. Paradoxically. Do you know even what we're looking for?
Okay, so now this is actually, the first couple of pages were just the cover sheet. Like, I'm basically this guy. This is what we're talking about, whatever. If you scroll down.
Yeah, there it is right there. Number 2. Yeah, Chris is right. It's like it mentions his name. According to the theory psychologist Ronald Stone and the biomedical engineering models of Itzhak Bentov, hypnosis is basically a technique which permits acquisition of direct access to the sensory motor cortex and pleasure centers. What is that? What did it say? It's hard for me to fucking read it.
I can read it if you pull it up. It's page 3 of the main.
Oh, he's inputting. Are you inputting it into AI?
Well, I'm just putting notebook into Notebook LM, so it's. So I can get there if you want. Yeah, I'll let you read through it. But yeah, if we so.
Hypnosis is basically a technique which permits acquisitions of direct access to the sensory motor cortex and pleasure centers and lower cerebral emotional portions and associated pleasure centers of the right side of the human brain following successful disengagement of the stimulus
screening function
of the left hemisphere of the brain. So they're shutting down. Is that what it looks like?
The left
they're
hemisphere of the
down
brain
left
is
side
self.
of the brain.
Yeah, it says
The right side of the brain following the.
Yeah, see, Matt's guy got a
right side of the
breakdown.
brain is screened. It's for its emotional portions are accessed. The left hemisphere of the brain, which is considered self-cognitive and linear, is bypassed. Stimuli are introduced into the right hemispheres, where they're accepted and acted upon directly. Results of this process can include emotional reactions originating in the lower cerebral region. The person experiencing hypnosis can have a feeling of numbness, happiness, or well-being. Hypnosis can be used to enhance concentration, access information storage capacity, and accelerate progress in the gateway process. It's a technique used in conjunction with the gateway experience. So, yeah, it's believed to work. Yeah, the different hemispheres. So, what's this gateway? So, I think the gateway.
That's what I sent you. That's what we're reading. That's the gateway process.
So
like that's
the component of all this.
That's what
Accessing
That's
one
like
side
his.
and shutting down the other
Yeah.
side.
So
That's
that was like his research was into
it's right there in
consciousness.
the first like 3 paragraphs of the.
Summarize the gateway process so we can see if there's a convenient summarization for us. Here we go. Let's see where is this. Ooh. Gateway process training system designed to enhance strength, focus, and coherence in brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres to alter consciousness. Aims to overcome the restrictions of time and space and provide the user with access to intuitive knowledge. The gateway process utilizes various techniques, including hypnosis, biofeedback, and transcendental meditation. Here's a breakdown.
It's your boy David
Key
Lynch.
aspects. Seriously. Brain hemisphere synchronization, hemisync. Apparently, the gateway process uses hemisync, a technique defined as a state of consciousness in which the EEG patterns of both hemispheres are equal in amplitude and frequency. It's achieved through the use of audio techniques, and it's used to focus brain energy and to create coherence between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The goal is to promote production of higher amplitude and frequency brainwave output. This synchronization is key to altering consciousness and transcending the limitations of time and space. Then there's a bunch on hypnosis, transcendental meditation, biofeedback is used to access areas of the right brain. Resonance, gateway process uses sound frequencies to create a state of deep transcendental meditation. The body's natural resonant frequency is targeted and used to entrain the brain to a specific frequency. This resonance is thought to allow the brain to function more coherently and access altered states of consciousness. Energy entrainment, out of body movement, focus levels.
It goes. Yeah. So he was kind of like, it seems like he's somebody that was super, not known really in the sense of, I hadn't known of him until just fairly recently, and I heard about.
Was by design.
Remote viewing is just like a component of all
of
this
what
stuff.
he's talking about. Yeah. So remote viewing.
This is like the largest science behind all of that.
Exactly. And remote viewing seems like kind of cool. It's like, oh shit, that's pretty dope. But then it's like, what he was doing was,
it's like the science to actually, the fundamental science to understand and explain it.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty interesting.
This document is from when?
And he passed away. In scroll up, it said, or it had right here on mine. I can probably access it faster.
June 9th, 1993.
That's when it was released.
83. Is it 93 or 83?
That's when it was probably declassified.
No, that's not when it's
Gateway
declassified.
process
It was on the cover sheet. Right there. Scroll to the very top. One more page. Right there.
You're probably
83.
right. 83.
So, yeah, declassification dates at the very top.
Oh, at the top, yeah.
This is dangerous information, gentlemen.
No, this shit's been declassified.
Well, I know it.
22 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But
yeah.
there's all number of declassified stuff that general
It's like
society
right out there
overlooks.
that people, yeah,
But
it's
I
right
mean,
in front of your eyes.
it's because they put it in the book with like the book that you got me a while ago, the beginning of our journey here together. Was it what's it called? Out of Leaving the Body.
Leaving the Body.
Yeah.
Leaving the body. It's about like a guide to, out of body
It was a
experiences.
scientific
Which to me it was
approach
just
to it.
Yeah, which to me it was just a way of trying to understand the phenomena.
And it's funny so Stephanie, shit, I wonder if she's here now. Alyssa is actually running that room now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ellie, yeah. Yeah, it's no, she actually works at the Smoky Rose because
Nice.
what's her name? Sarah got her job there a while ago, but
that's
she
what's up.
works there. And I mean, you've talked to her some, but like outside of, I think she's really cool. And I was actually last night. She got off work and before she went to bed, we're actually kind of talking casually about everything led to just out of body experiences. Just naturally, like something she said.
Projects.
No, led to out of body
my kinda
experiences
casual combo.
and stuff. And she has
A story?
yeah
Oh, okay.
of personal story.
We need to get her in here. She's a live wire.
Yeah,
She's funny.
and it was cool because I was not that question anything that she's saying doing, but
No.
we've had a question like casual conversations here and there, and I pick up things she says where she thinks about things in like a similar way to some of like the whole ideas that are presented in like out of body stuff, and just the way she described when she did it, like with her body and breathing and having like this imagining and focusing like their energy and stuff almost to a ball, like right
shit.
here, like very descriptive of stuff, and I think is legit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't doubt that it is legit. Obviously, the CIA investigated it and they figured out that shit like that's possible and real and whatever it is.
Oh, and she said something about casually, which at the moment I kind of just thought, yeah, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but maybe there's something to it. I don't know, because she will drink water from the sink, but she was talking about. I was like, I don't care. I'll drink tap water, drink whatever. She's like, oh, it's like you might not have. Yeah, but wasn't about any of that. She just said, oh, if you want to have lucid dreams, you can't drink that. I'm like,
Yeah, no, it's because of the fluoride.
So
Because
that
the
affects-
fluoride calcifies the pineal gland.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what they say. Okay. So that's tied to that. But also, I guess that being linked to potentially lucid dreaming or inhibiting that,
It's
which is a
because-
huge
yeah, it's
world.
because fluoride. That's one of the conspiracies around fluoride is that fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. So
I gotta look up
the
studies
human
on the
brain-
depth of that because. What?
Nothing. Keep going. We'll later. I'll tell you all later.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
no,
wild.
y'all are fine. No,
That's
I
wild.
just had a light bulb.
Me too, in a way.
Go on.
Because I don't care about drinking fluoride, but for it to persist, it's like a random weird thing that.
Well, think about how many people talk about not really remembering their dreams or having intense dreams. You ask most people, do you remember your dreams or do you have... Most people are like, no.
Yeah,
Everybody's
have they
drinking
been
fucking tap water.
effing with us for that long on that
Almost
scale?
everybody drinks tap water. Like,
Because like
you have to. Okay,
I
so I have
don't-
to
I
start.
don't
I have to do an experiment
but
to get
I've heard
distilled
that
or
if
water I
people
know that has
smoke
no
marijuana,
fluoride. Like distilled water, I think
and
is.
then they stop smoking marijuana.
yeah, their dreams.
Those dreams will get
Yeah.
like really, like really vivid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, so I don't know how much of it would be that.
I mean, they
You
could all
gotta
be
get
factors.
that Bobby. So if you want to have out of body experiences that are legit, you got to get that Bobby Boucher water.
Dude,
Like Glacier.
I'm gonna do my best to at least do an experiment of drinking water that I guess I have to. I mean,
You'd have to get
bottled, that's
spring.
bottled
You
water.
would
I'd have
need
to distill or
spring.
something I know is completely fluoride free.
Well,
spring
but,
water.
But it would also be one of those things too, because I can't imagine, where it's like, if you imagine like on your bones and shit like that, where it's like boxers and shit like that, or fighters will get calcium deposits like in their fucking knuckles
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So it's not so much just that like doing something that doesn't have, like you have to reverse
It could take a
this
long
fucking
time to undo it.
calcification.
It could take months to actually see years, maybe. I've been doing it 40
it's
years.
like what you
It
would need
might
to-
be
what you would
past
need
the
to-
point of
what
reversing.
you would need to look into first, and I don't even know how to do it. Or
Is
if it's even
to
a thing.
uncalcify. That's to be
Yes.
something that uncalcifies.
Yes, and then from that point forward, it would be just a matter of not,
Now
then
it can-
you do the unfiltered
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like at this point, it's already calcified. How do you reverse that process?
I'm led to my initial thoughts are some crazy
Drugs.
hallucinogen trip, like Ibogaine or something crazy.
Bloodletting.
Drugs.
They call it
Which
bloodletting.
somebody,
I bet it
somebody
is
who's-
something like
somebody
Ibogaine or
who's close
something
to
crazy.
me actually.
We had some crazy talks about
this
that.
This is a rabbit hole we could go down.
The Ibogaine stuff.
Yes, about how
In
Ibogaine
programming?
is how maybe potentially Ibogaine is the new like LSD. You know what I mean? In the sense of how like back in the day they had the LSD.
But it's not casual. But the stuff with it potentially being used.
I was just going to say the
program
LSD
dudes.
experiments. That's all I was going to say. The experiments. That's what I was going to say. Is that like the LSD experience? What if Ibogaine is the new like the way we were experimenting on people back in the day with LSD and being like, "What does this do?
It's like
your
a
mother
more
didn't think you
powerful
were
way-
shit."
It's a way
And
to
then-
be way potentially, I think, way more effective with
Well, they're just
achieving
trying
results.
To access those like
Deep.
subconscious like parts of the brain, like those like
That 5-MeO,
the
all that
lizard-
stuff.
The lizard,
The
fucking
numbers,
brain,
Mason. What do they mean?
Yeah, mix that with sensory deprivation tanks and all that
Well,
together.
that's
12
literally
monkeys.
like what they were saying. I never knew that about hypnosis, where it was saying that like the whole point of it is like accessing the one side of the brain,
Yeah.
but like the creative side, while shutting down the reasoning side. Like I didn't, I guess
It's-
theoretically it makes perfect sense.
Exactly, it's one of those things
But-
you've kind of known it, but never really thought about
But
it.
yeah, once you see it
Yeah.
written out, it's like,
Do you ever
okay.
think about it?
And so
Would
it's
you-
just a further where it's like, okay, we've already figured out how to isolate the left side of the brain from the right side of the brain. How do we go further than that? We've cut off the left side from the right side. How do we, isolate the front third of the right
Or when we
brain?
isolate them, how do we get even more
And
precise
then,
with
yeah,
what we
to
do with those
where,
isolated
like
sections?
What Alan Watts talks about,
Yeah.
where it was like we got a big enough microscope and we figured out that there were fleas on the back of other fleas. And then
I'm glad you brought Alan up. I hadn't mentioned on Alan Watts in a while.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. And I'm only going to mention this in one sentence. I just know all this scientific study that's, for me, or I'll say a paragraph, more compelling to believe, or at least to have at least an personal understanding of what kind of power or things that there's always kind of like a big gray black box, like, oh, the CIA, they're doing studies on how to do this to people. And it's like you kind of see it and think, okay, I'm sure they have a way to do it, but kind of getting into the fundamental science of actually what they're doing and seeing how, and personally starting to think and see how it's believable.
Yeah.
But then now factoring in what AI is going to be able to do to make it even that much more precise and absolutely perfected.
Yeah.
Over the next year, actually programming somebody legit,
Yeah,
like,
and I think
to
that's-
precision, to the highest level precision. Because I bet they've been doing
I get
it.
and
It's
I
crazy.
think that right now they've done it. It's already been successful to a large extent.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the basic way that we, kind of go about our everyday life is somewhat programming, whether we want to
Definitely.
admit it or not. There's so many things that we do. On a, it's like Richard Feynman talked about, like the physicist. He would like one of the thing he was like, take for anything, for instance, like, brushing your teeth. I think if you want to pull up, what are you talking about?
I love you bring that up.
Pull it up, like Richard Feynman, like talking about the universe. It's
He's
like
that
he
reminds
said.
me,
He
it's been
said
3
no. He
days.
did. He was like talking about like how it's like we're all just doing it. He was like, it's like
brushing your teeth is a social construct.
Brushing your teeth is important. You don't need to use toothpaste. It's the takeaway.
it's like,
I'm telling you guys.
yeah. Now go to like
They
YouTube.
call that bait in the
Go to
industry.
YouTube
I
and
knew
see
the response that I would get.
You had
when
it
I said
perfect.
that.
Like you had the guy pulled up. It's FY.
I hear you. And I'll just paste this and see if we get this there.
There you go, Feynman, and now go down. Go down. He's talking about the universe. Watch the algebra one. This is kind of funny. I love this guy.
My cousin at that time, who was 3 years older, was in high school and was having considerable difficulty with his algebra and had a tutor, Cam. And I was allowed to sit in the corner while the tutor would try to teach my cousin algebra. And so problems like 2x plus... I said to my cousin that, I said, what are you trying to do? You know, I hear him talk about x. He said, well, you know, 2x plus 7 is equal to 15, he said, and you're trying to find out what x is. I said, you mean 4? He says, yeah, but you did it with arithmetic. You have to do it by algebra. And that's why my cousin was never able to do algebra, because he didn't understand how he was supposed to do it. There was no way. I learned algebra, fortunately, by not going to school, by knowing the whole idea was to find out what x was, and it didn't make any difference how you did it. There's no such a thing as you don't do it by arithmetic, you do it by algebra. That was a false thing that they had invented in school so that the children who have to study algebra can all pass it. Yeah. They had invented a set of rules which, if you followed them without thinking, could produce the answer. Subtract 7 from both sides. Yeah, and then if you have the multiplier, divide both sides by the multiplier, and so on. A series of steps by which you could get the answer if you didn't understand what you were trying to do.
Now, go back, and now, so this can, hang on, that was, I think this was it. Hang on, this is it. His viewpoint of the world. Oh, fuck, it's too long.
It's only 36 minutes long.
And no,
We'll
I can tell you
we'll
when to
end on
stop
this
it.
quick
I'll
video.
tell you when to stop. It's in the beginning, I think.
Believes in witches now, and you say, how could they believe in witches? Then you turn around and you say, let's see, what witches do we believe in now? What ceremonies do we do? Every morning we brush our teeth.
Here it is.
What is the evidence that the brushing your teeth does us any good in cavities? See, start wondering. Are we all, imagine as the Earth turns on the orbit, there's an edge between light and dark. And along that edge, all the people along that edge were doing the same ritual for no good reason. Just like in the Middle Ages, they had other rituals. And you try to picture this perpetual line of toothbrushes going around the Earth. It's to take the world from another point of view. Now, it may well be that brushing teeth is a very good thing because it gets rid of cavities, and you can find out whether it does or it doesn't by trying to find out. Now, you can ask your dentist. He says, of course. And you say, how about evidence? I have not found the evidence from dentists because they just learned it in school. Now, I'm not trying to argue that it's good or bad to brush teeth. What I'm trying to argue for is to think about things from a new point of view.
You know how I heard about him, Chris?
And that's the one thing I appreciate about flat earthers, because it is
I think from a new point of view, yes, and you know who I learned about him through? Somebody I learned about Chris. I learned from about Chris, or how do I say that? I heard about this guy.
You're doing algebra and arithmetic. You
Shut up.
Say it.
Shut up. I learned about this guy because another guy that I was following was somebody that Chris told me about. So Chris told me about a guy. I followed him. There it is.
Yeah.
Animal. So Animal shared something about him years ago, and I started looking into him, and I started watching his stuff, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking genius. And he is a genius.
Yeah.
But
literally.
But what's awesome about his genius is that it's so simple and easy to grasp, and that it's refreshing that it's just that he's not somebody he's not a Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Speaks like a prophet.
He's not a Neil deGrasse Tyson that tries to act like this is why, and the universe expands and collapses upon itself. And it's
like bell curve, or not the bell curve, but there's the meme that I talked about before, where it shows you the double ends of the spectrum, where it was the really stupid person on one side.
Yeah.
It's it depicts what you consider a troglodyte on the one end of the scale.
In their behavior and what they're doing or something?
No, this person that's God exists. And then the highly educated, highly enlightened person on this side that's God exists. This person knows it but can't explain it. This person has understood it and, is able to, explain it. But then in the middle of the curve, you have the mid-wit type person that's actually, he does,
I feel like that's absolute truth representation of absolute truth.
Well, they talk about
I get what he's saying is
not,
because
not mastery, but genius or whatever is being able to explain a complex concept simply.
Yeah.
Like what he did with algebra.
Like a parable.
And exactly like
it's like
what he was
parables,
saying.
like spiritual truths spoken in parables.
And so,
like what Jesus
in
said.
essence, he's saying something that, an uneducated person,
he's turning it into a parable. That's exactly what it is.
Saying the same thing, that it's like, well, I don't think that, because what about this? It's like, oh, you idiot, you haven't accounted for X and this and that and this and that and blah blah blah.
That's exactly what it is. Pick
When it's
whatever
funny-
word, but the concept of a parable, that's exactly what it's doing.
Sure. It can be the concept of a parable, no doubt. But it's to what I was trying to say. That's like why he was backing up that he is more or less, the way he's conveying the info. It's nice and refreshing that like. Go watch Neil deGrasse Tyson and try and watch him or listen to him talk about the universe. And you're like, what the fuck is he saying? I'm so but he's sitting here being like, well, you don't need to do that because why would you do that? Because it's so simple and this and that. And
it might be a rare breed, but who are other examples that are able to do what he does?
Oh fuck, I don't know. They're probably all dead. Like most of them are dead. I mean, shit.
No, there's got to be modern. There's modern. Got to be modern.
There's
like
tons of them, but it's one of those things where it's like it just depends on the subject matter.
Yeah,
I just think
on like where it's like.
I agree. No, that makes
really
sense.
Good at it, like in like the political. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking more of like
saying,
this kind of
but
crazy.
I'm saying somebody like Thomas Sowell, where is able to take like a really
like economics.
Seems like a very complex,
that's a gift.
Economics.
That's a unique gift.
Because like the Nietzsche quote where it was like they muddy the waters to make them seem deep.
Yeah.
And somebody like
like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, somebody like Thomas Sowell is able to be like, look, you don't need any of this shit, I told you about this, this, and this. It was like, all you need to know is this plus this equals this. So why were we here when we used to be here? And
it's so funny.
Don't account for any of that. And so it's like, and again, on the other end of that spectrum, you have the uninformed, uneducated, just whatever your idea of that is.
Yeah.
Being to like, me, hey man, things used to be a lot better. Now they're not.
To me, it gives like validity to the whole Zen thing. And the fact that it's like how almost Zen people can exist and like there can be Zen characters that can be like, they can come in all shapes, sizes, and at whatever. It can be like some guy that's a yokel, but he is Zen character, somebody that understands. Maybe it's like, well, hell, why
they're enlightened. They're enlightened is my. That's at least
either
my way.
But when I say enlightened,
I'm just saying that's my term. Not just personally,
sure. Yeah,
like that's an enlightened person. He just gets it. It's cool. It does make me think. Just the way I think, in what some of what he was saying about, it was really cool with the algebra and the arithmetic, and it makes sense that they created the system to get kids to pass the test to get to the idea, but the fundamental idea being not requiring all that, because you can get there. It's in language, and it's fine, it's natural, and you are exhibiting an example of it, like, which is fine. I'm not saying something's right or wrong, but like when you're trying to talk about how you knew the guy that he was saying, you're saying through somebody he knew, or you're trying to describe the path that got to there. In my mind, and it's fine, but it's like, I know Stephanie or people when they talk with language a lot of times, they'll muddy the water.
Allegory.
Yeah, the muddy the water, which is sometimes necessary, but they'll waste energy, and you'll see them wasting energy, like trying to get there. Whenever it's wasting energy,
and it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why did he knock on your door?
Yeah.
Rather than like you want him to cut out knock knock, and it's just like bananas, and you're like, well, why did he say bananas? Well, he knocked on my door.
Yeah, and so it's like there's value in both of them, and it's just interesting. It's just interesting.
No, yeah. No, I mean it is interesting.
It's all just perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I mean I enjoy the way he, approaches it. And what I was going to say is it affirmed that what I meant about the whole Zen character type of thing, because I know that you like to call it enlightened, but if you look up Zen character, there's plenty of people throughout history that have been like, quote, Zen characters they called, for instance, they called Phil Jackson the Zen master or whatever in basketball because of the way he conducted himself. And all I was going to say is that it's like, to me, it gives more validity to that, like, understanding of the unknown, no matter which way you want to go about it. Some people go about it through a path of education and literature and doing this, and then there's other people who go about it a totally different fucking path but end up at the same destination. And I feel like people like, it gives a validity to it, because it's like Richard Feynman went this path of like, whatever, like straight A's, going through school, like the highest level of education, fucking like worked his brain to his full capacity and achieved full potential, and then ended up at the point where like he's still sitting here like us being like, well, what do you ever question brushing your fucking teeth? Where like I could hear some dude catfishing on a creek bank. Hell, why I gotta brush my teeth? Hell, there's actually some video of some dude talking about it. Why is brushing our teeth? Hell, we ain't got to do it. There's some video of a dude saying it, of some redneck dude being like, but my point is with that is that it's like, you can still arrive at some basic, call it common sense. I don't fucking know. But I think that some of it could be, in a sense, common sense. And I also think that there's a level of it where it's like, you get to a point where you just realize you're like, I mean, fuck, some of these things are just the way they are. Why chop it up and try and understand it? You know that this is like that, so why try and dissect this more the way he's talking about algebra? Why try and, just to show that you can do it? You already understand. You already understand that this is going to happen. Why do you want to do that? Just understand it, like, So it's just kind of interesting. I feel like it makes the stories I've read on different stuff, like, different Buddhas or prophets and things like that, make sense, because it's like, how the fuck could this dude have known something? Yeah. Like, what access to information did this guy have? And you're telling me he's a prophet, or you're telling me he's some type of wise man? How the fuck was he wise?
It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. And that's all my point was, to say that people like him almost give
it's a beautiful,
proof that
thing.
Like we maybe now we go through it a different way. Whereas back then it was the old, the old monk or something that carried a sack over his. That was one of the Buddhas. He would go pick up like random trash and give it out indiscriminately to kids. Like, that was one of the fucking, and maybe that's the way it manifested back then. And then now it's like, he took his own path to going there and getting this enlightenment to understanding. But either way,
it's
a whole
I love
rabbit trail, dog trail.
No, I think it's powerful and pertinent, and it makes me think how some people, it's like, if you, whatever feelings you might think you have as an individual on life, or understanding, and first of all, knowing that you can sit down with some people and have a conversation like we are, and people be actually receptive. It could be any realm. Like, you're talking about politics, or are you talking about why you think a sport is great, or anything, and just having an open mind to considering these things. And sometimes it's sad. It's a sad feeling whenever you just know it's a sad feeling, but it's also like I feel like I can take it as it presents a unique opportunity for a challenge of sorts, to where it's okay, this is an effective way to try and at least help you not struggle through life, whether it's just through your thoughts, because most people struggle through life not because of their circumstances. It's because of their perspective. It's because of their thoughts, the way they think about their situation. Where in telling them that the way you're thinking about it is wrong, it's like the direct truth of it, but that's 99% of the time probably not effective. In some cases it is. So it's like you're talking about the guy giving out trash or doing stuff that, he might be a way he found to actually try and be effective, which people see him doing that, and 1% of the population sees it and they wonder, why is he doing that? That alone could get them on the journey to hopefully maybe getting somewhere more peaceful.
Yeah, and typically in that quote about the guy, this is kind of a cool fact, I think, to know about what I said about the guy handing out trash. He's the most common Buddha you see. The most common
fat one?
With the big fat one smiling. He almost always, if you pay attention, has a sack like over his shoulder.
Okay.
And the whole sack was filled with trash, garbage, like shit he would pick
what's so
up
cool
that
about
people
that
were throwing
is
away.
the antithesis of Santa.
Yeah. So he was picking up like
sack
shit
of
that people were
trash.
throwing away, and he would give it out along his journey as he would walk, because most monks and shit like that would walk. So along his journey of walking,
Well, Gandhi
it's like
had
he would
a
find-
speed car, didn't he?
Dude, yeah, no, dude.
He was zipping around town. No, dude,
No,
that's
but
great.
there was something else.
BC?
No. I mean, I'm not ready, dude.
Dude,
I'm not ready. I have.
Dude, come on. I'm not in a
no,
rush.
there's. What were we just talking about? There was something Gandhi. We were talking about Gandhi. Man, that guy made his own fucking clothes, man.
Complex things.
Yeah.
The ability to make.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Whenever you feel like you got, there's
I'll let
one
you know.
question I wanted to ask Chris to let him talk.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But
buddy.
I don't. It's gonna be like.
Okay,
not
it's
a
gonna
segment,
go.
but-
It's gonna go. Okay, yeah. So hold on. Let me. Goats.
Goatsy
chickens.
makes me think this meme coin around
Magnets.
the Goatsy Truth Terminal.
People. Oh, fuck no.
I like watching this journey.
Came into my mind, then it left. Did y'all hear that? We still haven't heard from the Hawk Tua chick. You heard? Hawk Tua, spit on that thing, coin.
Yeah, I mean,
Hawk Tua.
I went to 7-Eleven and to see if they would take.
You heard
Hawk
we ain't
Tua
heard from
coin,
her?
and they wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
they wouldn't take it.
Still ain't heard from her.
No,
I honestly, R.I.P. Sorry about that, sweetheart.
No,
sorry about that. For real, dog. Sorry about that.
Right,
You
it's
got
rough.
you got around some fuck people, and they
That's
fucked
that's
you
a
up.
life lesson. Hopefully, people can learn from.
You got around some shitty
Get
people.
That's what. What's the saying? It's like a smart man learns from his mistake. A wise man learns from mistakes.
Fuck.
Of others, yep.
And that's why, Matt's behind our meme coin. Ain't nobody rug pulling shit around here, homie. We in it
Nope.
for the long haul.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here. What you talking about?
Exactly, man.
Shit, we're trying to be the new U.S. dollar.
I'm just saying, dude.
You know?
we have integrity.
Give a fuck.
I have integrity, buddy.
You can hawk to a spit on this thing.
Oh, you better find what you're looking for.
Hold
Mikey.
on. No, we're not going anywhere. I got you for 3 minutes, man.
You got 3 more minutes.
No.
Before I have a tinkle my pants.
We're going to sit here sometime. There was a
You
Zen
said catheter
story.
earlier.
A Zen story.
We might need to
Catheter?
invest in catheters for podcasting, so we don't have to get up to use the restroom, especially with all the liquid.
Make long ones
Yeah.
that just go into a mutual puddle.
With all the
a mutual puddle.
Well, with all the potations.
I was standing out there taking a piss, and since I'm wearing a black jacket and a black hat, I was like right here in the corner. Stephanie walked out to come in here after she left, and I left.
She didn't notice you at all.
Not at all. I heard the door open and I just stood still. She came right in here, and then I was like, and then I walked down by the shed.
The takeaway here is if
Motherfucker
you
felt like
if you
Nosferatu.
go outside in the shadows, Chris might be
Motherfucker.
there taking a piss.
I was literally standing. I was literally standing 4 feet away.
Because when you're in Texas, look behind you. Because that's where the Rangers gonna be.
You Southern boys.
Dude.
I'm
Don't act like you didn't.
I'm a Southern boy too, but
You fucked with Chuck Norris heavy, dude. You fucked
I mean,
with
he was in
Walker
my church parking lot once.
all the time. He was in your neighborhood a lot, too.
Fucking Walker, dude.
You grew up in a real bad part of town, man.
Yeah, man, rough streets.
Real shit part.
You better hurry up because I'm.
No.
I want to ask you a question.
I know, but you remember your question,
I do have
don't
to
you?
pee. Oh yeah, I do know.
I think we all do.
Can I use the restroom? While
Go ahead. Let
You
me
find
think
it.
about
I'm not
Keep
gonna
it recording.
I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, keep her recording.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll keep the people entertained.
You keep figuring
Guys, I
out
got.
whatever it is you're looking for.
Okay.
Well,
they're gonna leave
free
me.
myself from weight.
God, this is. Whew! You want to talk about freeing of weight? I'm free to the weight of these two. God, now I can actually get some podcasting done. All right, magnets.
Oh yeah, there we go.
How do magnets work? Yeah, Chris is breaking
That's
shit.
That's how
here.
you fucking podcast. Right
He's
here.
just breaking shit.
Fuck it up.
Yeah, it's quite incredible the shit that I find on the internet, the shit that pops up, and in times like this, this is a conversation I thought I'd have with more people. There'd be more people in here, and I'm just gonna kind of get into something. In times like this, there's all kinds of things taking place in the world. Weeks ago, you had some fella shoot another fella. One guy was the CEO, of a healthcare place. Before that, there was Diddy shit going on. Diddy diddling people. Diddy diddle them. who knows who diddled it, Diddy's parties. Trump got shot at. Fucking, let's see what else. What else was there? I had a note in here somewhere about all these different things that had happened. And it's you had the New Orleans attack, CEO murder, mass shooting, New Jersey drones, Cybertruck, Manifesto, and now Los Angeles is burning. And all that to say that there's already there's an ocean of conspiracy theories. And I think it's important, especially, if you've been a conspiracy theory guy for quite some time, or a fan or gal, or whatever, if you've been a follower of conspiracy theories for quite some time now, I've been exposed to the theory of conspiracies. And I've been duped. There's been a lot of them I've kind of been like, oh, what is that? And then I look into it and it's like, this is total horseshit. It's a horseshit deal. And so I'm not here to, I'm not dissuading. By all means, I'm glad if you look into things and you look at them you put your monocle on and you say, hey, what's that? You zoom in on it. But at the same time, especially if just be careful. Not everything that happens is some weird shit. Sometimes, like in the Forrest Gump movie, shit happens. So with that being said, is that sometimes if shit happens, then, we just need to be wary of what we deem as a conspiracy theory. Be wary of theories, Be wary of what we're deeming to be a theory. I'm being for real. I'm being serious. I think that we need to. Right now, everything but LeBron James steps away from basketball, and it's a fucking conspiracy. And I'm not saying that LeBron James stepping away from basketball doesn't have some type of maybe he stepped away for a weird reason. But why is that a fucking conspiracy? Everything now is. Okay, so now that my co-host has now rejoined me, I'll catch you up on what me and the people have been talking about.
Yeah.
And I was saying that this is a conversation I thought I would be broaching with you guys in the room.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put forth that in such times like these, to catch you guys back up, we've had the New Orleans terror attack, the CEO murder, mass shooting, New Jersey drones, Cybertruck attack, or Manifesto bomber guy, and now you have Los Angeles burning. And so shit's always happening.
That's true.
And while shit is always happening, what I was talking to the people and saying is that I was trying to put forth the idea that be wary that not every theory is a conspiracy theory. Be wary of theories.
To talk about them,
I love a good conspiracy. I've fucked with conspiracy theories heavy since I was like 15. Loose Change, one of the first conspiracy theory documentaries I watched. That in Secrets of Bohemian Grove. I was heavy into that shit.
Yep.
I remember watching the shout out Mel Gibson conspiracy theory movie back in the day. Did you ever watch that movie?
Shout
I saw it in
Patrick
theaters.
Stewart.
I loved that movie. That was
Catcher
such a
in the
fucking
Rye?
beautiful. Yeah, dude. I'd catch you and drink rye with
His
you.
apartment burned down. Had all those copies of it. It was hilarious.
But it's like, but my thing is that I just having been a connoisseur and an aficionado of conspiracy theory.
Yes.
I appreciate them. I love, for instance, my conspiracies go as deep as enjoying the thought that perhaps Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. That's fun. That's a fun one.
I'm pretty close with
Look
you on
at
that.
it. Go look into it. It's a fun one, right? But not every fucking thing that happens is a conspiracy. Like I said, so when you came back in and I was saying, for instance, nowadays LeBron James steps away from basketball, it's a conspiracy.
Well, Chris and I both left at the same time. We were scheming.
Why
against
did you
just
leave?
then. Yeah.
Because we were talking
I'm a
about LeBron
psyop.
James is on the Diddy list.
There you
And
go.
That's why he stepped away from
And that's why I said, was he affiliated with Diddy? Did Diddy diddle people at Diddy parties? I don't know. Perhaps.
Did he do it with Diddy?
Maybe. But my point is that I think that especially if you really actually, maybe for instance you have a podcast or you're constantly posting, you have your own, say you have a podcast or you're posting on these platforms about conspiracy shit.
If you're a content creator like ourselves,
just be careful about always, like, if you, because the whole point of conspiracies, in my opinion, in putting out that, like, blowing the whistle on it, is to try and bring awareness to the fact that something fucky's going on.
It's all about
and
awareness.
to bring awareness to that, like, hey, these things are happening. They said this is going on, but in fact it was this, and making people aware that, hey, this shit is what they do when they say this and that. But when you just, again, you muddy the waters and make it seem deep, you don't need to go convincing people. They shot a fucking president in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Kennedy got shot. I'm not talking about Trump. Kennedy. You fucking win.
Where'd that happen?
That was
They
in the
shot.
60s.
That had to be
and
far from here.
They still haven't released the
They still, and they know that. Why haven't they released it? Because they know that people in our
powerful
government were
information,
involved in this
whatever
shit.
it is, yeah.
And so my point is that it's like, you don't need to go, if you want to fucking make these other ones more valid, just be careful. Like, and not,
It comes back to
kind of look at
wasting your
things with
energy and like how much you want to be consumed with things that aren't going to help you in your
well,
personal
not just
life.
wasting your energy, but because that's to the average person, but to the, I'm talking more or less to the
above average person.
Yeah, or more or less the person. I would be talking
the critical
to the average
thinker
person in a sense.
The critical thinker.
You don't want to discredit yourself
because there's critical
by
thinkers
just jumping on some whatever. I think Michael Keaton actually said it best in The Other Guys.
I Am Batman?
No, when he
Creep,
said,
Creep?
no, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah. Are you quoting TLC, Captain?
No, I was quoting Michael Keaton. In the Other Guys.
No, but
that's mad about it.
No, but
There's levels to that.
I don't. It's not that. It's something. My whole point was saying all that. It's not to something that I fear. It's something I'm wary of. Being a believer that we have been lied to about big shit that should be known on a grand scale. I'm wary of the fact that the more people that come out and try and point at everything and make it a fucking conspiracy just because we know that we're lied to on some level, to come out and every time they say, hey, this is why X happened, the drones were, we know, oh, this is bullshit. Like,
yeah.
It's like
a perfect example is the UFO shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a bunch of people.
Now all of a sudden the government has come out and been like, yeah, UFOs are real. We've been seeing them for years. And all of the fucking UFO people are like,
those are drones.
Fuck. No,
Yeah.
all the UFO people, like the real like UFO people from like
Yeah.
the 60s, 70s, 80s, not
Yeah.
all these years. Once the government came out and were like, yeah, UFOs are real, all those people were like,
the government was behind it all. Damn it.
fuck, they're lying to us about the UFOs weren't
Are real,
because
yeah.
the minute the government
Yeah.
comes out and is like, yeah,
Yes,
it happened.
exactly.
Those conspiracy people are like, if
Oh,
they were
exactly.
real,
UFOs
they
aren't
would
real
never
after all.
admit it. Like, fuck, dude, you
Yep.
just ruined it.
Exactly. And so it's like you have to, like, you got to draw the line somewhere, and you got to know it's like, fuck.
The absolutes
you just put your
are absolutes.
and like
Be-
you said,
no,
Occam's
regardless.
razor. What'd you say earlier?
Yeah, the simplest explanation is
Barring-
often
yeah,
the
barring contrary evidence. or
yeah,
whatever,
the simplest
the
explanation is
solution.
often the actual truth or solution.
Well,
or-
and it's like what's the verse in Revelation where it was like in the end times, even the very elect will be deceived.
yeah.
What's your question?
I mean, I don't know. It's not that boring.
I want it. Come on.
Okay,
We're here.
So it's quick how to get there. So I go to the gym, regularly, because I run and stuff. So every time it comes around to the new year, if you're a person who goes to the gym regularly, you deal with some influx of equipment being used because people get their New Year's resolutions, and for a month or two there, it's busy and annoying, and it's annoying because it'd be awesome if it just stayed busy, but like, humans are humans,
gonna drop
and
off.
most of them are going to drop off, and it's like, and that's kind of why I always be like, that's why I'm against the idea of New Year's resolutions, because when you identify something that needs to be changed, don't wait, don't
wait, yeah.
But and so all that got me just kind of to trying to have a short conversation about something that's, we talk about perspective and things like that can be applicable, that people can take and maybe help them or not, because who knows if we're right or not. But this is something that's scientific and good, and he's a guy that's practiced it kind of in the light of getting healthy. Intermittent fasting.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And I want to say I kind of, just because I know, I know enough about it to kind of know, but the science behind it with the ketosis. There's something I learned I didn't know much about, was about was it something about
autophagy, the autophagic responses, which
with the cell about this house cleaning.
It happens after you hit 16 hours.
Yeah. So break down intermittent
16.
fasting for a newbie in what you've practiced it and the kind of results, because people are about results. They want to lose weight or get healthy.
And perhaps results maybe people you've turned on to have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess my journey with it was, 2019, where, like, I had lifted weights, my early, or like late teenage years, early 20s, like total gym rat, like lifted a lot. Like, I built a good foundation when I was young, but totally neglected like the diet part. So I was always big. Like, I was always bigger. And then, I don't know, it was January 2019. I'd stepped on the scale. I was like 230 pounds. I felt like shit. I was like, fuck this. And, like, the only thing I knew about the concept of intermittent fasting, but I didn't know shit about it beyond you don't eat for 16 hours and then you can eat what you want for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And so I basically just did that from January of 2019 until like April of 2019. I didn't stop in April of 2019, but between January 19 and April 19, the reason I remember it was because one of Matt's college roommates got married in April of 19.
That's true.
And I went and bought a suit for the wedding because I was like, I'm just going to rent a tux or something. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go spend a lot of money on a suit. And I'm going to drop as much weight as I can before I do it, because for one, if I drop weight and go spend a bunch of money on a suit, I'm going to make damn sure that I can wear this suit more than one time.
You had a good motivator, like a goal there.
But, like the two qualifiers to it is that at the time, like, and even still all the work that I do is extremely physical. I do like manual labor type work. And so it was like, I was working in a warehouse and then doing furniture moving on the side. So I was getting plenty of physical activity on the side. But yeah, for the first 4 months, I would literally just go 16 hours without eating. And then as soon as I hit that 16 hours, I would eat whatever the fuck I wanted. I didn't break, clean. I didn't know about any of that. And I lost, I went from 230 to 190 between the middle of January 19 to the middle of April.
He was fat as hell.
That's powerful, mate. And what you're saying,
I lost 30 pounds, and I wasn't even doing the fasting properly at that point.
Yeah.
What happened was I was dropping the weight at that point just because I had that much to lose.
Yeah.
And because I was operating in a caloric deficit.
Exactly.
3 to 5 days a week. And so it's one of those things too.
Which, to just like, quickly explain that caloric deficit is exactly what it says.
Sounds like. So I'm not sure. Like, what does it say?
Yeah,
like,
I just
average,
be like, I just know the average person burns so many
what
calories
is,
a day.
well,
And how much do you intake?
What does the average adult male need in calories?
I just know
per
that
day?
they
It's like
2,000 calories a day is
2,000.
what they throw around. Again, come back to why do you brush your teeth? People just accept 2,000 calories is like what they burn. That's insane. Everyone's body burns different calories per day, and to actually live as an individual thinking that's just a thing. But yeah, so we can just pick that as the average, But the concept of deficit is, am I burning more than I'm intaking on a daily basis? That's the basics. So you're saying like 3 days a week you were burning more than you were intaking.
Yeah, it's like honestly, it was like I tinkered with it for a while where it was like I would do it 3 days a week. I would do it every day. I would, and it was like in the first 6 to 8 months, I dropped the majority of my weight. I went from like 230 all the way down to like 190, 187.
Yeah.
Somewhere 192, 187. Even right now, if I stepped on a scale, I'd probably be at like right now fully clothed, I'd probably be at like 198. But like if I stepped on a scale in my boxers, I'd be at fucking like 187, 190.
Yeah.
So I never put the weight back on doing it. It was like literally
your body got to the state it's ideal to exist in, its own like, homeostasis, and you just maintain it.
It was just one of those things where it was like I just, like it sucks for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or the first, few times you do it, but you start to get used to it.
Yeah, and you start to feel off whenever you, like me in running or whatever, like I just like know my body consumes it just so much, if I feel like if I'm eating more and I have a caloric deficit the other way, it's like I just feel off.
Yeah, or you feel
sluggish, in my
like
being.
You eat too much, or
and
it's one of those things where it's like a lot of people will get wrapped around the axle early on, like doing this stuff. Where it was like I would try to explain to people all the things that I do, where it was like, but I would try to explain it to them from the point that I'm at now, and then I'm like, no. I should just go back to where I started. What did I do at the very beginning? It was like I didn't do shit but not eat for 16 hours and then ate for 8 hours. And when I say that like I didn't eat for 16 and then would eat for 8, I would not eat for 16 hours and then I would go straight the fuck to Whataburger and I would get a sweet and spicy bacon burger with grilled jalapenos, a large fry, and a large root beer, and I would mash that shit. That's how I'd break my fast.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it was still effective.
And I still lost 40 fucking pounds.
And that wasn't the best way to do it. Right?
And no, because I was operating in a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
And because I was, like just because of the physical nature of my job was stacking not only that caloric deficit that I was already in, but the physical activity that I was engaging in was also reducing, was also burning
that makes
calories
sense.
And stuff. And so it's like, I don't know.
It's
like there's a whole
powerful.
lot of information out there now on it.
Yeah.
I would
saying there's
suggest
different like
looking it
standard
up.
thing. The 16-8 is the one you talked about.
16-8
another one
is
5.
what
I guess 5-2 is another 5 regular days, 2 non-consecutive days.
Some people will do
and then
what they
this,
call time restricted eating.
And then this 24-hour fasts too.
So 24-hour fasts. It's like I try. Full disclosure, I've sucked at fasting for the last like 6 months. I still
my
do
mom
it.
will do it. Like the tying to this and the spiritual stuff, it makes such perfect sense. It's crazy because I just want to get just talking about simple things like ancestors not having constant food access is like we're designed to go for extended periods without food, and just talking about the glycogen breakdown and all this. But there's when it gets to the whole like ketones and getting to ketosis.
No, so what you're talking about, what you're
but
talking
no, I'm
about
gonna
the
get to
autophagic response.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
So
get to that.
autophagic-
I'm just like working my way down there. Is like just the scientific benefits that that actually has on the brain, like the ketones is like a few things, but then when it gets to autophagy, which is just actually getting rid of damage, autophagy, which. It's like your body just getting rid of the garbage dead cells and this the crazy benefits for
So when they
health and
talk about-
longevity in mental acuity, it's insane.
They talk about like where it's basically like survival of the fittest, or
Yeah.
like the the evolution, whatever.
Yeah,
like, where
your
you talk
body
about,
gets
like,
rid
a
of the
herd
excess shit
a
that doesn't
herd of-
need
a herd of
on the cellular
wildebeest,
level. It's crazy.
But a herd of wildebeest,
Yeah.
where it's like you have the old, weak, slow ones that are going to die off anyway, and so it's like what you're doing by fasting, and you're not hitting that autophagy point until you get past the 16-hour mark.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're looking to hit that, you need to be in that 16 to 20 hour window, because
Like
you
a
don't
24-hour fast is where you really get that kind of
20
I'm-
hours. 20 hours
Yeah.
are really the good ones. 24-hour fasts, it's like when I was really fasting like hard, it was like I would try to do 1 to 2 24-hour fasts a month.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do them crazy. The same thing with 48-hour fasts, where it
Yeah.
was like there's no benefit to doing those things more than a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
And so it was
Like
like
my
so
mom
for
would do.
48-hour fasts, it was like generally I would do one like right around the first of the year.
It's
just
like
to,
a good
start the
cleaning
year
house
off.
of your whole body, your whole
And
being.
then right around my birthday,
Yeah.
which is, end of March.
This stuff is
early
cool though.
April.
Just like this is pretty cool too. Just misconceptions. People think it slows metabolism, but actually
No, it
increases
actually
it.
increases
Muscle
it.
loss is inevitable. It actually causes you to have growth hormones
No, and
released
that's the
that
thing about
preserve
it.
muscle.
So about that part right there.
Yeah.
So the thing about that is one of those things that, like, say you're at the end of your fast or whatever, because of all the hormones and stuff that your body is producing, it's like if you were to go, and I'm not an exercise scientist, I'm
Yeah.
not a fucking whatever, but from what I understand of it, if you're in a fasted state and you go and do a workout, yes, you will probably not be lifting as much weight as you were lifting in a normal workout.
Yeah.
But the result that you're going to get from that workout, pushing less weight in that state, you're going to get a bigger benefit from pushing your max weight that you're capable of in that weakened state than you would fully fed up and like, okay, yeah, no, I feel good, I'm going to fucking lift. And it's like, no, it's like your body in that starvation fight or flight mode, like it's because
you get like
and
the
it makes
purest,
sense
most
too.
efficient workout. Yeah.
It makes sense too, because it's like if you take it back to like our caveman DNA, where
that's what
it's
I was
like
saying,
literally, because they talk about how like after, I've never done anything beyond a 48-hour fast, but they talk
That's gotta
about
be
when you
nuts.
get into like 72 and 96-hour fast, where at a certain point you're not hungry anymore,
because your body's literally
a
like
lot of that
triggered
has
over
to
to,
do-
like preservation.
a lot of that has
Alexa,
to do
turn
also,
on the cave lights.
A lot of that also has to do
Alexa,
too
turn on
with
cave
your
lights. Whatever. It's
like
time to go to
how
bed,
you
guys.
go into the fast. Like
Amazing.
feeding up on protein before you go into the fast. Oh,
Yeah, being smart.
But either way,
yeah,
where it's like talking about how it increases, because if you think about it, in our caveman like whatever, it's like if I haven't eaten in 3 days, every system in my body better be up for like, hey, dude, if we don't find some food in the next 30 minutes, we're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
It's
It's gonna
it's like you're
trigger to, like,
waking up
preserving,
that part of your
yeah.
body that's like,
It's
hey, we got
primal.
fire on all
Yeah,
cylinders.
it gets pretty wild
Yeah.
whenever he goes on those long fasts. Eventually, he comes out. I come out of the bathroom. He's
Yeah.
got a fucking spear and a knife. He's hunting me.
Yeah.
He's
But
like,
no,
ooga, ooga,
So, yeah, just
ooga.
with the new year and stuff, I just thought it'd be cool to briefly just bring that
Matt
up.
wanted to share a way
Yeah,
for
the
you
easiest-
guys to be able to
Stop
lose
being-
weight
Go-
and just be able to not be in his fucking gym.
Go
And I agree with it.
I
I'm
would-
fully on
the
board with that.
easiest way I
I'm
would
on
say
board
to
with
do
that
it
because they're
is
wasting
like
their fucking time.
6
Because
to
like
8
Chris said, you
Diets,
can eat
but
whatever you
it
want.
takes the discipline of literally just not eating.
Like he said, you
Which
can
is
eat
black
whatever you
coffee.
want.
You can have black coffee
No
while you're
sugar.
fasting. No sugar, no nothing. Full
No
disclosure,
sugar.
I fucking hate coffee. I don't like coffee at all, but I drink coffee because
you learn to
that's
like
the
it.
other thing.
It helps you actually speed up.
It increases the autophagic response once you get into like the beyond 16 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's knocking loose shit in your system. Black coffee is.
There you go.
But either way, the important thing about it, 16 hours without eating. And
zero
then
calories of any kind. There's no like, oh, it's a vegetable. It's like no calorie intake whatsoever.
Yeah, you can't
That's
have juice,
the thing.
You can't have a
if
soda.
it has a calorie in it, it's gonna ruin it. That's the thing.
Yeah, anything that's gonna cause an insulin response.
Yeah,
I could have a
When you
Snickers.
break,
except for Snickers, correct?
when you break something like the people will do bone broth. I do like a hard boiled egg, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like 8 ounces of bone broth. Drink.
I got bone broth, something from.
What if you just had? What if you just had a?
Drink bone broth. Wait 45 minutes to an
We've
hour.
been drinking bone broth all
and
night.
then
That's
eat
what
whatever the
putting
fuck you want.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a good
And
What
I
if you
didn't
just had a
do that for
bone?
the first
What if
6
you just
months.
had a bone with a little piece of meat
And the
on
thing
it?
is, like the exercise of being disciplined enough not
you
to
want
eat.
protein and fat.
What
no
if you
carbs.
What if you went and had dinner at a
Then
friend's
that's
house
fine.
and they had a bone with a little piece of meat on it?
Eat that little piece of
Put
meat.
that
What would
meat,
you do with that?
turn into a broth.
You just eat it. You put it in a stew.
You put that in a pot.
Yeah.
You may get yourself a stew.
Yeah. So yeah, the intermittent fasting. It's worth trying out if you're trying
We're
to get
trying
healthy.
out. Fuck that. It's worth like
look
it's
up
it's
Thomas DeLauer on YouTube.
the shit is worth
That's where I got all my shit.
doing all the time. Fucking George St. Pierre swore by it.
Dude, my mom does it. I did it naturally as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it's funny because
I
once
do
I
it
got
accidentally
into it,
sometimes.
Once I got into it, it's like it was literally I can remember like being a teenager, lifting weights and shit like that, and like Matthew would do that where he was like, dude, I don't eat shit. He was like, I'll eat a frozen pizza, blah blah blah, and it's like, no, dude, you need more, calories, this and that, and it's like, no, and
because I would wake up hungry and I would push it, and I could feel my body just like get into that state of actually getting rid of shit it didn't need.
Matthew was not. He was breaking with a Totino's pizza or a Jack in the Box taco with no lettuce.
And he looks great. I'll say that.
But
That looks great.
that's very
it's
kind.
like, but the concept was there, and it's like it is one of those things.
It was just
that it's
natural
like,
for me, man.
And the
Because
beauty of it, like to me, the beauty of it is, it's like any point that I ever wake up and I start feeling like, oh man, this isn't good. Or I'm like,
Then you know it's working.
No, that I'm feeling like, oh, dude, I'm starting to get fat. Like right now, I feel like I'm starting to get fat, even though I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, but I know if I hit it hard for 2 weeks on intermittent fasting, just like, stick to it,
No,
then
like
I'm
last
good.
night, I've been so bad. Stephanie got me all these snacks, and I'll literally just shovel in my mouth, and I'll literally do the worst thing. I'll literally be in bed and eat as I'm going to sleep, knowing that's the worst thing. But I'll wake up and I will won't eat all day. I'll wake up and I'll wait to the dinner to eat just because
But
you know what I mean.
That's the thing too, though, is that it was like
You trick your
got to
body.
a point- no, because I got to a point where it was like for me getting down to like 190, 185 was like 190 to 185 was way harder than 230 to 190.
Yeah.
Because I had that 40 pounds to lose. The rest of it
Yeah.
was like
It's like when
and
those
so it's
super
like
obese people they
the
lose a couple
lowest-
hundred pounds and it's like easy,
well,
right?
The lowest I ever got was I weighed 178 on the morning of my 40th birthday.
He's just
'Cause I
bragging
came
now.
off-
He's
no,
just being.
No,
we
because
asked him to. We asked him
because
to.
I
do
needed
this.
to. It was something.
I stay
that
humble.
Was like in the back of my. Well, I teach everybody humility, bro. That's why.
But Mike,
that's
you're
my best quality.
you're the captain's sees best.
Yeah. He
we can-
teach humility,
Yeah.
teaching humility. He's top 3 most humble people he knows.
Yeah.
Taught
So-
humility. Is that it?
Humble tea.
Humility.
Have some humble tea. Have a cup of humble tea. Yeah.
Bro, have y'all ever seen that thing Murder County or something like Humboldt?
yeah,
it's
the
called
Midsummer
Triangle.
Murders.
Murder
Triangle.
Mountain on Netflix. It was
Yeah,
Murder
it's
Mountain.
Murder
It was called, but that was actually a crazy thing. It was
Humboldt
interesting. I
County.
should go look at that. Something I was gonna say. Recommendation of the week.
Yeah, all right. We're there.
My recommendation of the week, and this is gonna take a minute. Sit down, Matt. Matt's standing up. Sit down. Matt's got a fucking flare gun. For those of y'all who can't see, Matt has a flare gun,
It's right out of camera.
He's ready to shut this podcast down. He's about to send SOS to get fucking rescued. He's gonna send
help me.
SOS sends for sending out Stephanie. Stephanie's gonna come pick him up. Send out Stephanie.
Our experiment went well.
SOS, send out.
It did.
What an experiment. We'll call this Operation...
Life changer. Operation
No,
Matthew
come
has
on.
something to smile about every day, other than his daughter and his wife.
Operation...
Smell freedom?
The smell of freedom.
The smell of freedom.
Wasn't that that
He
movie
said
that wasn't that that
smell
movie
freedom.
that wasn't that movie that just came out in the theaters about child trafficking?
Oh gosh.
Oh god.
The Sound
With
of
Jim
Freedom.
Caviezel?
The Sound of Freedom. It was like the smell of freedom. It's the.
So what's your
it's
recommendation of the week?
on Ellis Island.
This is going to take me a minute, and I apologize if I get choked up. Start a podcast. I recommend you should start a podcast. And you might think that that's like, oh, okay, what the fuck, telling everybody to start a podcast. But the right person who needs to hear it will hear it. Start you a podcast,
And it could just
especially
be the
if
guy
you
sitting
have
across from you.
If you have a friend, you don't have to have a lot. All you got to have is a friend, and maybe
You don't have to have anyone.
Podcast. He was like, sometimes you might just say it next to a friend, and they'll start the podcast.
Yeah,
for you.
I was gonna say, all you gotta have is something you like to talk about. Matthew and I, for instance, we like movies. Matthew's perhaps his movies are a bit more, refined, better cinematography.
No, that's all
maybe, perhaps
We have
okay,
different tastes. We have
whatever.
different,
Look, don't talk over me. God, like shit. I was gonna say though, start a podcast because it's made me a better person. It's made me a better person.
You think so?
I do think so because it's like I've had to put away being offended.
Childish things.
There's been plenty of times I wanted to storm out. I've wanted to flip your desk.
Yo, I know.
I
Go
was
some
like,
of episodes.
one night I was like, I
Mikey
wanted to
so
flip
pissed.
Matt's desk, and I'm like, this is his office. I can't flip his desk.
I
It works
can't do that. That's not gonna go well.
So I didn't flip his desk.
He was like, I broke his Stratocaster.
You know what I mean? But
He
I
took a
was
shit in
like,
my front
man,
yard, though.
I was like, man, fucking stop cutting me off, dude. But no, I mean, it's one of those things that will show you that if you set out on doing a podcast in earnest, and we've been at it for over a year now. I'm not speaking from any position of success. It's this position of consistency. And what I feel like I have gained from it is just, it is beautiful what all three of us technically have here, and Jeff as well. It's like the ability to do what we're doing, because not everybody can. Some people are like, well, fuck that. I can't, you can't talk with people or mesh and bond with people. And so the reason I say start a podcast is because it'll help your character. You'll kind of weed out some of this shit you don't need about, okay, so the fuck what, Matt cut me off and I didn't get to say something about Mothman's fucking deep red eyes being, fucking beautiful. Yeah, beautiful, exactly. Like fucking drawing me in, wanting to kiss him. And it's like, so what? So what? Matt cut me off. I'll talk about him fucking later. But I had to realize that Matt cut me off because he was also fucking something tantalized him about the Mothman, and he had to talk. And so he cut me the fuck off. So all that to say that this shit's made me grow, dude. I'm a flower. I feel like I started off on this as a caterpillar, and now I'm a fucking moth.
That's not how any of this works.
That is actually how it works.
I want to flip this fucking desk right now with our
This
little
one's
mics
way
on
better
it.
to flip.
Yeah, we could flip this
I'm
one.
glad you said caterpillar and moth because people don't think they always think butterfly, but they go both ways.
Yeah, they go both ways. Oh yeah, and moth is I
So
prefer
they're
the moth.
Transformers?
Yeah, a moth is fucking disrespects its surroundings.
Butterflies
Moths are
in
metal.
the sky.
Moths are metal, dude. They
I can
eat
fly in the
clothes.
sky.
Think about that. Moths are pretty metal, dude. And they're eating your clothes and shit.
That's what they sound like.
They're making your clothes look metal. That's for sure.
That's true. Exactly. They're in there fucking distressing your. Why don't fucking influencer people do that? Just have like a room full of moss and you just buy new clothes and you just stuff them. You just buy new shit and stuff it in the
Envision
rooms.
walking in somewhere and be like, dude, you're covered in moths. Like, no, dude, this is I used to pay for this. She's like moths all over.
Kanye is about to send us a cease and desist for like
Just
giving
like, dude,
away
you got moths all over you. You know how much I paid for these?
derelict.
Derelict.
Derelict my balls.
Do you imagine Kyle Mooney, whatever, just like character? You'd be like, yeah, dude, you like my moths? That's great.
Oh man, yeah, I could see that. I could see moths being used because that's an authentic. You can't recreate moth holes in your clothes.
Moth balls, though.
Man, God, what a smell!
Tiny teeth.
All right, recommendation. Yeah, top that shit. Top my recommendation. I know you almost cried. Matt was holding back tears.
My recommendation is don't feel the need to compete or that life is a competition to top anything. Know that what you're doing, you're just fine, and you don't need. I don't need to top it. There's no topping. There's no topping. My recommendation is realize there's no topping.
Fuck your recommendation.
My recommendation is recognize the lack of topping.
Chris, you want to piggyback that?
No, actually, I was going to come with my own original thought. Is get some moths.
Oh, yeah.
Quite original.
Cultivate a
moths.
moth. Yeah, that is original.
Get a moth farm.
Get a
some
moth
really
farm.
Expensive clothes.
Yes.
And a closet. And you two can start a clothing
And
line
you're welcome.
like Balenciaga.
There we go.
You know? You'd be like the
snap.
next Kanye.
Mothenciaga.
Before we go, I got to pull up something you sent me earlier.
Yep. I was going to. Busy it.
No.
Busy.
Matthew, this is scat films.
Shit.
Dude, I'll send it
Mikey,
again.
no. I know. I got too many things. Instaham will get to the messages. And on the way out, we're just going to share a little something. Reminiscent of the guy with the gunsmith video. Made you feel.
I just sent it. It's the newest one.
We got a little video of this guy, a man after my own heart. We're just going to share this.
Enterprising individual solution to the energy crisis. Mr. Burney.
So small.
Mr. Burney.
Yes, ma'am.
What is this device?
This is an electrical generator. See these wires here? Each of these wires is connected to a moral fiber in my body. By listening through these headphones to the words of the Holy Ghost, I get inspiration. The electricity flows through my body into these wires and into the 4 batteries that are in that box there. I don't waste energy, ma'am. I power my heater, my air conditioner, everything in my house.
Why do you do it out here instead of doing it at home?
Oh, to give all the slovenly people out here some inspiration. They sit out here all day, they get no exercise, they waste energy, they don't do anything for themselves. A little inspiration will help them. And I'm wasting time here myself, ma'am. I have to power my house. Excuse me.
Tonight we'll be taking a look at one enterprising individual solution to the energy
He
crisis.
said moral
Mr.
fiber.
Burney.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you.